This is Paul Ryan of Origin with Dr. Vincent West, and you're listening to the FANTASM Podcast.
Phantasm.
What the fuck is up, and welcome to FANTASM Podcast. I'm Corey Gore-Price. Joining me, as always, to my left, Dr. Vincent West.
Hi, how we doing?
And to my right, we have my dog Tuna. Again, he's joining us as usual. And in the home office here. And Wheelchair Fucker, another rare occurrence.
WCF.
He is in for the haul.
Representing.
Jam-packed today. We have one of our favorite guests and good friend of ours, Paul Ryan of Origin. He is going to be talking about abiogenesis, a coming into existence. Which a little bit about that. It's actually old stuff, and it's pretty badass. It came out on Agonia Records. It's been out since May. They recorded and recreated the original 91 to 96 era that preceded Origin's original formation. So it features never before released tracks, and that's like kind of the foundation for what Origin did become.
And he played every instrument on it.
Yeah, it's just Paul Ryan being his usual shredding badass self. So if you're even remotely a fan of Paul's or just Origin in general, this is definitely something for you guys to purchase or stream, whatever you do, and check it out. It's fucking awesome.
Love him to death. He's become a dear friend of mine. The record's really cool. And to let you fans know, we also get into stuff there. They're still very much on Nuclear Blast Records. He just wanted to do this thing with Argonia because Nuclear Blast didn't really seem interested in it. And he also lets us know that Argonia Records is actually going to be reissuing all the Origin stuff on vinyl and CD.
Hell yeah.
But he didn't want to claim that, but that's kind of where he was hitting with us, which is fucking awesome.
Right.
But yeah, so I wanted to thank Paul because he's like the best dude in the world, and we're thanking Paul tonight because Corey and I are giving him something that
very different from the Phantasm realm. We've only crossed this line once with Predator way back. I think this kind of covers that ground as well, but it's definitely.
And we got a horror director though still kind of behind it.
Yeah, and it's. Before we reveal, obviously you can see the fucking film when you click on this episode, but to hype it up anyway, maybe you're just kind of listening to every episode and not paying attention. The pairing for this, you got our boy Joseph Zito directing.
Friday 13th Part 4.
That's right.
Yeah.
He did The Prowler.
Yes. Which I love.
Yeah, it's a good one. He also did a film called Blood Rage. It's not the same Blood Rage.
Different one, yeah.
But it's a sexually frustrated young man kills hookers. That's all it says. So that's
a good movie if you've ever seen it. Have you seen Wheelchair?
I don't know. I know the one Blood Rage that we know, but
yeah,
I don't know. My sister brought up a Blood Rage movie, and I don't even know. I don't know which one she was talking about.
May have been that one.
But he directed the video for He's Back, Man Behind the Mask by Alice Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
That was part 6. Badass. Did a little film called Invasion USA a year after the one we're watching now. Red Scorpion.
Dolph Lundgren, an amazing movie.
Yep. And he rewrote parts of Red Scorpion, I guess. That's all it says for that. But I was thinking the composer, Jay Chadway, he was the composer of the music for Maniac. They're together on this. We've got Doctor. Finish it up.
Missing in action.
Vietnam, 1984. Chuck Norris is James Bratt. Decorated war hero. Ex-prisoner of war. An American on a mission. One man, who couldn't forget the Americans that were left behind.
We categorically deny that there are any living MIAs in Vietnam.
Wrong answer.
James Braddock has returned. To uncover the truth and free the soldiers.
We're going home?
Missing in action.
Damn right.
James Braddock declares war. The war isn't over until the last man comes home. America had no more heroes. Until now. Chuck Norris, missing in action.
Now, I want to tell everybody, because I've actually watched this Blu-ray with the commentary track on, with Joseph Zito, and I wanted to share something with everybody that I never knew about this movie.
As soon as I opened that beer, that dude got fucking shot to death.
It's amazing. As a kid, though, I never knew this. So, there are 3 of these films.
Mm-hmm.
The third film is really weird, but what's really interesting is part 2 is what Joseph Zito thought he was directing. This was supposed to be Missing in Action Part 2, because Missing in Action 2 was actually shot before this film.
Weird.
So he gets there, he's looking at the dailies, it's just like, yeah, like, this is like before this story. Like, I don't really want to do part 2, like, and then the studio was like, we need part 1. So they liked his version, which is technically part 2, better than the actual part 2. So part 1 became part 2, and part 2 became part 1.
That's really strange.
And if you ever watch part 2, you can actually tell, because Chuck looks a lot younger in it.
Yeah, so it's part 1.
But the movie, part 2 of this, makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally a horrible, horrible film. I have it, because I love Chuck stuff and I buy his movies, but especially this old shit, this Golden Globe shit, it rules.
Yeah.
But this movie is fucking fantastic. Definitely riding in on the Rambo craze.
Yeah.
But completely different.
Yeah.
The only similarity is Vietnam. And the commentary track on this, if you guys buy the Shout Factory version of this Blu-ray, you're in for a real big treat, because there's lots of cool stuff that he's talking on here. Like, there's a couple scenes in this. Like, I'm going to give you one really cool scene that Corey's going to get a kick out of right now. One of the military guys running on the chopper right now is Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Where?
You can't see him, but he's in there.
But he's in there.
Yep. He was friends with Chuck, and they were getting ready to start dailies on Bloodsport, so he came out and hung out while they were shooting this. And he's an extra in several scenes in this. That's not a joke. So Van Damme is actually creeping around somewhere. I'm a huge Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, so he's running around somewhere in this motherfucker, which is fucking awesome. Chuck throwing grenades, blowing shit up right off the bat. This movie's fucking awesome. Can't really go wrong. I literally grew up watching this movie. I remember renting this in a giant silver box Betamax cassette as a kid, and just fell in love with it. And I love this film, man. Like, I don't have enough. People say, "Oh, it's cheesy action movie, Chuck Norris." Whatever. Yeah, but there's something to be said for this. Love the skulls on the end of the chopper.
Yeah.
It's just fucking awesome. I don't know how you can fucking go wrong. Like, it's
Yeah, he's a stuntman, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
correct. Yeah.
It was before Bloodsport.
Well, but he was doing dailies for Bloodsport. Like, they were getting ready to shoot it.
Yeah.
And so he was over here just hanging out. So I guess him and Chuck were friends, from what Joseph Zito says in the commentary track of this. So it's cool, because I'll give you all extra backstory on this movie. But I fucking love this movie. Very rarely would I sit down and listen to a commentary track. I totally got drunk and listened to the commentary track on this, because I thought it was awesome. My uncle was a Vietnam vet, so I'm kind of partial to also this. He was a huge Chuck Norris fan as well.
Yeah, Chuck took this role as an ode to his, I guess, older brother because he was in Vietnam.
Amazing.
So that's why he was reluctant to do this film, apparently. He had Aaron Norris.
Aaron Norris, yeah.
Oh, no, that's stunt coordinator. His younger brother, Wyland, was killed in Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
So he said it was a memorial honor.
Here you go. This is one of the best scenes of the movie.
Yep. You gotta do the old pull and jump.
That's the slick you need right there, signed.
Yeah, it's him jumping with grenades.
Now, if you don't mind unmuting it, I would like our fans here to hear one of my favorite cartoons in the world that's on in the background, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Which Zito was optioned because I guess Canon had just gotten rights from Marvel to do a film for Spider-Man. And Zito was supposed to direct it for $20 million not shortly after Canon went bankrupt, so they never got to do the film.
Amazing.
But Zito was totally going to make a fucking Spider-Man film in the 80s.
Well, you're getting ready to see Spider-Man because he's about to change the channel and drink a beer.
And Canon had severe financial problems due to their attempts at moving into bigger budget films, like Superman 4. And the project was ultimately shelved, with rights reverting back to Marvel after Canon's bankruptcy in 1990.
You ready? It's about to put on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Yeah.
And the villain is Shocker.
Hell yeah. Yeah, they had just got the rights to this from Marvel, and that's why it's in this film.
That's Little Scott's cartoon.
Yeah.
That is the best incarnation of Spider-Man in the world to me, was that cartoon. Stan Lee fucking hosted it. Oh my god, it was awesome. He's like, we're not in for another tale, true believer. It's fucking amazing.
Was it something I said?
Spot and Shocker, it's amazing. Chuck hanging out and drinking Coors Light.
Yeah.
We got another flashback here.
Doesn't get much more American than that.
A lot of explosions. Like I said, and honestly, this movie, you might as well be watching a horror movie because it's a lot of killing. A lot of flashbacks to killing. A lot of modern killing.
Yeah, this is Chuck Norris. Fucking taking ass.
Before we started recording, I could have sworn that I'd gotten drunk and watched this with Corey, but I believe it was Delta Force we watched.
It was Delta Force. This wasn't out at the time. On Shout Factory.
Well, no, but there was a standard one out that I had at the time. That's why I thought we watched it.
No, I know it was Delta Force for sure.
We watched Cyborg drunk once over there.
Mm-hmm. I love that movie. Speaking of Van Damme.
Oh, it's a great movie.
It's good shit.
And Wheelchair Fucker, I wanted him to share this tonight. He actually picked up a couple of Steven Seagal movies tonight on Blu-ray, which I thought was really cool.
Nice.
One of which, one of our favorite actors, Keith David, is in Marked for Death.
Yeah.
Great movie.
And then I picked up that, because it was only $3, that twofer that has Above the Law and Hard to Kill.
I like Hard to
You
Kill.
got the DVD of it. You got the DVD. Now, did you not get Under Siege?
I think I already had that at my house.
You did not buy the Blu-rays, what I'm asking you.
I don't think I have the Blu-ray at my house.
Oh,
She
look,
showed it to
look at
me
that.
once before.
Gotcha.
At like Chattanooga or something.
It's cool. So we're just watching
I put
Spider-Man.
it on hold because I wanted to check and see if I actually have it.
He's making a break.
You understand, I watched that religiously. So this being in this, it's like, oh, I'm into Love Sick Horse.
Spider-Man put me in that hole, and now I'm going to get even.
You may recall himself masterminded an escape of
I was to say masturbating.
prison camp.
You may recall him
Maintained that the camp in which
masturbating.
he was held was not the only one in Vietnam. Though he has never been able to offer any proof of his allegations, Braddock has been known as one of the most outspoken proponents of the theory that American prisoners are still being held in Vietnam today. Braddock has, however, refused all recent offers
Colonel John Braddock, baby.
Organizations on the subject of
Colonel Braddock.
Another cool part of this movie is his friend in this movie is Carnival personnel only. Damn! Which is amazing that he's in this. Of course, you know him from, he's also in Blade Runner, and he's in, I can't think of that dude's name. It's Emmett Walsh. I love Emmett Walsh. And the girl that's sitting beside that chick right there, Chuck throws a load into her, which is a good thing. He gives her a real pearl necklace. He lets her take his fucking Bruce Lee trained beef.
His martial art combo.
His fucking Texas fucking longhorn fucking mushroom karate style of her fucking tight ass. It's amazing. He's like, I flew all the way to Ho Chi Minh City to spill my seed.
Yeah. I'll show you Bangkok. That's pretty good. Yeah,
And with all Golan and Globus Productions, I also want to say, if you're joining us with this, does this movie make a lot of sense? Absolutely not. Does Chuck fuck fine chicks and fucking kill people? He does.
That's all you need to know.
And a special guest right here for Corey. Well, there's David Lopan.
Amazing.
That is amazing. Does it get any better now?
Already.
Because that chick, I would totally throw a load into her. Look, and he's got the police shades on, staring down David Lopan. He won't shake his hand because he's a fucking butt. He's like, no, I'm Chuck, I'm a butt. And I love how he's still sporting like the 70s do. He's like, it's long, but it's not. Oh, and can I just say something else, too? I want to say this to everybody out there on the planet. If you're not Chuck Norris, you don't look good in a beard.
Mm-hmm.
Corey, yours looks nice. I'm feeling it. But
I don't really consider
most people, if you're not Chuck Norris, you don't need to have a beard.
Never.
Period.
Period.
Jens made a really good point one night. Wheelchair fucker told me. He said, do you remember how, and I believe you even used Chuck as an example, beards weren't offensive. And you're right. That beard looks good on him.
Yeah.
But now they're just offensive to me.
They look like...
And
this, I'm talking about this stuff, this Dallas Keuchel shit, this fucking...
It's gigantic, yeah.
It's like, do you wipe your ass when you poo? It's just nasty.
And like beards you used to see, and it would be like respected people that had beards, and they were like a thing of like...
Yeah, like Chuck Norris.
Yeah, like a thing of like class.
I'm trying to think like Chuck
just...
Norris. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, it works. And some people it doesn't. Another cool look on Chuck is the stash, when he just does the straight up stash. But I like this because he's still rocking the 70s, roll into the 80s. I'm going to fuck that bitch and give her a real pro necklace. Fucking karate do. He's ready to go. Those police shades, too. Those 80s police shades. He's going to kill that motherfucker. You can tell he's ready to kill him.
Yeah, that's Lenore Kasdorf.
And, of course, fucking Lopan is in this, which is amazing. For all you Big Trouble fans out there.
I didn't know that. There's a fun one. And I don't know how I didn't notice that. That chick that he's going to fork, she is Johnny Rico's mom in Starship Troopers.
Awesome.
It's fucking cool as shit.
That is awesome.
That's like a really...
Good dig up there. I'm into it.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Speaking of Lopan, get ready for Dr. Loaf himself here in a second. As my computer makes dingy ding noises.
Are you ready to go back in time?
I'm so down to do this too.
Tonight, is this 1984?
It is 1984. Just a second, I gotta make it crap yourself.
It is 84. Or is it 85? At what?
Spooky Empire. We need to go to Tampa for Halloween.
Holy shit.
He's going to do the Lopan costume.
Oh my god.
That means they're bringing Screaming Mad George again, because he's the one that comes in and personally applies the whole costume. And also Clive Barker. So. And Ted and Sam Raimi.
Wow.
And Ted and Bruce. And they haven't even announced shit yet. They just announced James Hong yesterday.
That's
and they're
amazing.
like, yeah, he's doing the full costume. I'm just like, Bruh.
Oh, it's...
And I know for a fact, because the only 2 times he's ever done it, Screaming Mad George is there, and he personally applies the whole thing. So it's like legit Scream fucking Lopan when you need him. And it's ridiculous looking. And Screaming Mad George is in the picture. He's like,
that's insane.
Yeah, so you get to meet Screaming Mad George and fucking Lopan. Just saying, folks.
Is this 84 or 85?
This is 84.
Okay.
In Germany, it was 84.
Why did I think it was 85?
In Germany, it was 84. The U.S. release date might have been 85.
Well, we need to do the U.S.
It's 84.
It is 84.
Yes.
Okay.
Came out November 16th, 1984. It didn't come out till January in Germany, but I don't know why that even came up, but whatever.
Interesting. Probably a violence issue. Someone in this movies are very violent. These are like war movies in Europe. You know, they don't want to let people watch them because he's running around killing people. It's like they're going to give them ideas. They're going to grow a beard, get trained by fucking Bruce Lee, and kill people.
Yeah, real quick, go back to Jay Chadway, the guy who composed the music. He did Maniac in 1980, which I think was his first score he ever did. But he also did Invasion USA after this. He did Silver Bullet. He did Missing in Action 3. He did Maniac Cop 1 and 2.
Damn.
He did Red Scorpion. And he also did Delta Force 1 Lost Patrol. I don't know what that is.
I don't either.
Whatever. Jay Chadway. Fucking awesome. Anyway. Believe it is time for our first of the podcast. Y'all know what it is.
Chuck just said it's all right.
Thank you, Chuck. And as always, I'll cover the movies of 1984, and Doctor will cover the music end, and possibly dig up some porn for you. So
maybe
you might be able to hear that tonight. And as you know, for us, we don't ever fucking we'll do the date no matter if we've done it 100 times. We'll still do it. It's just fun for us to fucking do. I'll go ahead and say one thing that came out in 1984 that's fucking amazing is The Real Ghostbusters. Thank you.
For those of you who don't know, Corey is a mild Ghostbusters aficionado and fan.
Yeah, just mild because I don't...
He doesn't have an Instagram where his Nino buys him bed sheets and...
or my rich partner doesn't buy me all the pop vinyls and cereals and fucking lunchboxes and all this horse shit, which is fine if you want to do that.
I mean, you did meet Dan Aykroyd, so that's kind of cool. So
I also met Ivan Reitman too, so.
Yep, they can suck it.
And if Harold was there, I would have met him. So it's like, yeah, I met the people that made the.
That was a big suck it. So tell them to suck it.
Was a big suck it. We got 1984 is one of the best years for movies ever in history, just ever. 1984 was seriously some of the best movies ever made. Came out in 1984. And the horror movies are going to take a lot to get through. The regular movies are going to take a lot to get through. I'm just going to name some choice ones, because I know I've done this a bunch. I'm going to start right off the fucking bat, and we're going to do The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai.
Love that movie.
It's fucking amazing. We're going to go Starman. It's fucking John Carpenter. Throw him a bone for that, even though it's not that great, but it's still... it's on Blu-ray. You can still get it. Yeah. Whatever. It's good. Just fucking Jeff Bridges, Karen Allen, awesome. Last Starfighter, Nick Castle, love you. We got some serious Arnold shit. I'm just gonna go ahead and put out The Terminator. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's one of the best movies ever made. It's fucking raunchy as fuck.
James Cameron was a matte painter on it.
Yep. It's just fucking brutal. It's nasty. It's awesome. It's
no, I'm joking. James Cameron was a matte painter on Escape from New York. And then I tell this story all the time. I'm going to tell it again right now.
Go for it.
Not to interrupt you. Piranha 2: The Spawning, his first motion picture. He got malaria while shooting wherever they were. South America, I believe.
Yeah.
came up with the exoskeleton. The rest is history. Terminator. There you go, kid.
Terminator. Another badass one. Conan the Destroyer. What a goddamn bloodbath.
Love it.
Movie fucking rules. Yeah, fucking Repo Man. Emilio Estevez. It's a good one. Never Ending Story. This one's really fucking awesome. You got Body Double.
Love it.
Got some good whack-off scenes, too.
It does. Melanie Griffith's hot as fucking that.
Yeah, she is. Streets of Fire, Willem Dafoe, Diane Lane, Rick Moranis is in that. That's good stuff.
Walter Hill did that. Did 48 Hours in The Warriors.
Fuck yeah. This was a cool one. And this was I talked to Brian Tatler from Diamond Head about it. Dune.
Look for that interview, kids.
Dune. There's a song written on that album about the movie Dune.
Real.
And we talk about it for a good bit, because I love that movie.
You too.
And we just had a huge Dune discussion. They're a fan of the book. They love the movie. So that was a lot of fun.
You know, the new movie's coming out with Josh Brolin.
Yeah.
You know who's directing it?
Who?
Guy that did the last Blade Runner movie.
Fuck, yeah. All right.
Next summer.
I think we talked a little bit about that, about
amazing.
The new Dune coming out. So they were into that. You got Dreamscape. It's Dennis Quaid, Max von Sydow.
I've got it on Blu-ray.
Beverly Hills Cop.
Love it.
You got Red Dawn.
Love
it's
it.
Fucking classic. C. Thomas Howell.
There's a Shout Select version of that for you kids out
Charlie
there.
Sheen, Harry Dean Stanton.
Red Dawn fans.
Harry Dean Stanton rules. Purple Rain.
Love it.
You got The Woman in Red, Gene Wilder.
It's a good movie.
Romancing the Stone.
It's a good movie.
Footloose.
Good movie.
Karate Kid.
Not a fan.
16 Candles.
Love it.
Top Secret.
Love it. Val Kilmer.
Yep. Puppets of Manhattan.
Val Kilmer and Chevy Chase.
Yeah.
Love Muppets Take Manhattan.
You got Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
Love it.
It's honestly my favorite Star Trek movie.
Interesting. That's very weird.
Indiana Jones and Temple of Doom.
Not a fan.
Not either, but I watched it the other day because I haven't seen it in a really long time because it's still my least favorite. But I enjoyed it a lot more as an adult than I did when I was a kid.
Cool.
Which is the opposite, I think. 'Cause most people loved it when they were a kid. I never liked it.
I can't kill it, but you're good.
I never liked it when I was a kid, but I appreciated it watching it the other day.
I liked it as a kid and don't like it as an adult. So
You're the opposite of me. All right.
it's really weird. Yeah.
Cannonball Run 2.
Obsessed with it.
Amadeus, which we just talked
Amadeus.
about. Yeah, Amadeus, whatever it is. Yeah, Amadeus. We just talked about that.
It's a fun movie.
It's
weird.
Once Upon a Time in America.
Mm-hmm.
The Killing Fields.
Yep.
Trying to search through these. That one's not a drama. Wow, they have that in a drama. That's kind of funny. This is Spinal Tap.
Love it.
Police Academy.
Love it.
I mean, I'm saving the really good ones here. The fuck is that one? I have no idea what that is. Okay. Hard Bodies.
Love it. Got it on Blu-ray.
It's really good. Meatballs Part 2.
Love it.
Is that one still Ivan Reitman?
No. But I still love it.
Cheech and Chong's. Can't even read what that says. Korshin something.
It's terrible.
Korshin Brothers? I've never even heard of that one.
It's terrible.
The Ice Pirates.
Love it. Got it on Blu-ray.
City Heat. It's fucking Burt.
Love it. Burt and Clint. Love it.
Yep. Alright. We'll just get right into the... Because there's so much shit from this. We'll just get right into the nitty-gritty here. Starting with...
Can you name my favorite horror film that came out in 1984? Now, I want you to think about that. It's not an obvious thing, but it is.
It's not the Ted.
No. I love that movie, but no.
Well, I'll just name them and I'll narrow it down that way.
Or if you're perusing it, you'll find it.
Children of the Corn. We're going right into horror movies now, kids. Children of the Corn, Night of the Comet.
Love it.
Chud.
Love it.
Firestarter.
Love it.
And we were going to mention the Friday the 13th final chapter.
Love it.
Which our boy Zito also did. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Love it.
Gremlins.
Love it.
Oh, I think I see it right here. Razorback, The Initiation, Toxic Avenger.
Toxic Avenger is fucking amazing.
I love Toxic Avenger.
The Initiation's amazing. Jens, didn't you buy that?
Which one?
The Initiation.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Blood Theater. I already see what your favorite one is. It's right here in front of my face, but try and look at some more of these.
No, you're good. I figured you'd figure it out.
Let's go ahead and do
I'll give you a hint.
I'll go ahead and do it right here. Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Well, my co-host knows me so well.
Oh,
yes, it is. I love it.
It's Vincent Bad. Vincent Kill.
I love it.
Vincent Naughty.
I love it.
It's fucking awesome. And it's Linnea Quigley. It's amazing. It's a good movie.
Shot in Canada.
It's raunch butt too. It's nice and bloody.
I was actually surprised Wheelchair Fucker was never a fan of it. But.
All the the nun scenes. It's very controversial for the time too. Even just for '84, like it broke a lot of ground with horror because they didn't really have a successful
Punish.
Punish. They didn't really have a Black Christmas came out before that and stuff. And they tried to.
What is the deal with everybody with that movie? I don't like that film.
But it's not like.
Do you like it?
No. Silent Night. The original one's. It's okay.
It's just weird.
I don't think it needs to be in my fucking collection. I'm not like I gotta have Black Christmas.
I don't own it. Do you all own it?
No, I don't have either of them.
I have that Black Christmas remake.
I saw the remake in theaters and I hated it. Like years ago.
Yeah, but
But yeah, the '70s one, I don't like it either. I don't. To be honest, the Silent Night, Deadly Night's the only horror Christmas movie that I like. It's the only one that's effective. The Krampus movie's okay. That's more just kind of fun. Like you watch that movie and get drunk and laugh about it.
Right.
It's not like a serious.
Right.
Silent Night, Deadly Night's fucking just awesome. Just a great movie. And it's not really like too Christmas oriented in your face. It's kind of really gritty, and it almost doesn't even seem like a Christmas movie at all. It's just like.
The kids on the sled with the axe.
Yeah. They just...
I mean, you have to imagine, though, I saw that at the theater as a kid and was laughing my fucking nuts off. Like, I loved it. I was like, this is amazing, because I think Santa sucks. Like, I'm all about this. Like, I don't like Christmas. I'm not... And let's just... I hate to go off on this in the middle of June, but I don't like Christmas. I never have. I don't like it. It's cold. It sucks. I don't like it. I don't like anything about it. I don't like the cartoons. I don't like the fucking holiday music. I don't like fucking anything about it. So, of course, Silent Night, Deadly Night, it's like ding, 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 ding.
Well, honestly, I was very festive a lot, and it's weird because I was...
Garbage Day.
Yeah, that's the part two right there. Garbage Day. With the growing up, like, Jewish, but also still having Christmas, after a while, I actually got more into Christmas, and I got pretty festive about it. I still kind of am, but, like... As I get older, I just realize how, like, just fucking stupid it is. It's, like, very...
I still like it.
It's the most corporate holiday we have.
It gives me anxiety. Have you never noticed me around the holiday? I'm a wreck.
Yeah. I don't like it either. It gets more and more depressing every year.
I'm an anxiety ball. It just sucks. And so movies like Silent Night, Deadly Night make it fun.
Yeah, because it's also not just, like, all the shit's in your face. Like, he's just fucking killing people.
Exactly.
Dressed as Santa. There's no, like,
it's
frills about it.
It's great.
Just punish. And he just axes people to death. There's no, like, singing and all this holiday bullshit.
Mr. Sims!
Because even nowadays, they make, like, a Christmas horror movie. They're going to put in all the shit and just make it very Christmas-oriented, more so than actual just, like, Slaughterfest.
Right.
So, it's nice. Silent Night, Deadly Night, if you just want a nice, clean slasher, it's more about the... people just getting killed in the holidays itself, and they're trying to sell more of the Christmas thing than they are the actual, killer and stuff. Just Silent Night, Deadly Night's the top of the list. That's top of the naughty list. That's it right there.
It's great.
It's one of the video nasties too. It was very controversial when it came out, and it was very condemned and very like a lot of places didn't show it. I think,
dude, at the time you have to realize it was completely unapologetic, that film.
Yeah,
and
the marketing for it too. Like they just didn't care.
Well, I'll tell you another interesting fact. The Scream Factory Blu-ray of that actually has the R-rated cut of that film, which is superior to me than that unrated version.
Yeah,
the unrated version is using like stock footage.
You can tell
it's awful.
It goes in and out.
Whereas the rated one, it doesn't do that, and it's actually just as effective, and it's just as nasty.
Yeah, and it doesn't, add, because it's just unrated doesn't mean it's any gorier or anything. It just means they've added the deleted scenes that didn't make the final cut. That's all unrated is. You know, it's adding the extra shit that made it.
I like that I've got it, but I would rather watch the theatrical if I'm going to watch that movie.
Yeah. Do they have that version on there? Like the R-rated is the theatrical. Okay. Hell yeah. Oh, there goes Lopan. I'm going to go back to this for a second. We got the Chuck. We'll get to the music there. 84's got a lot of damn good music.
You ready for me to...
Yeah.
You finish the movies?
Yeah. We'll stay on that. So we've done it a bunch.
No Ghostbusters?
Get the notables. I said real Ghostbusters.
Oh, you meant that literally.
Yeah.
I think people may have thought you meant the cartoon. I know I just did.
No, the real Ghostbusters.
You meant it literally.
The OG film.
Yeah, which is fucking awesome.
No, the cartoon's great too.
No, but when you say that, it makes me think. I mean, like, oh, he's so the cartoon.
I don't do TV shows.
I know. I do. What I'm saying, though, is it made me think.
Oh, yeah, well, I'm sorry.
Because of the...
Yeah, because the real Ghostbusters.
You literally...
The real Ghostbusters.
Tells you how tired I am sometimes, but yeah.
No, I should have just said...
Now you're... I'm
Ghostbusters.
just saying it through me. You had me throw through a loop there for a second. Alright, 1984.
The Ghostbusters.
I will not say how old I was in 1984, but I was alive.
He was alive and well.
I was. Very happy. I had a really good childhood. My mom...
She's really hot.
God bless you, Mom, wherever you're at. Hope you're good. Yeah. So let's get to 1984 music, kids.
Is that same chick he was about to bone? That's in the window up there?
And we're going to mix it up tonight. Instead of giving you porn titles, I'm going to give you a list of porn star actresses from 1984.
That's a good one.
Porn.
We got martial arts, fucking Vietnam vet porn here. See the Chuck Norris.
Actually, you know what? In honor of Gay Pride Day, I'm actually going to do men and women.
Hell yeah. Let's do it. A little bit about, speaking of Ghostbusters, I went to Ghostbusters Fan Fest. It was amazing in Los Angeles.
Cost them about $1.
Yeah, it was, about $1 times 1,000. But
it ain't cheap to go to Cali, baby.
Yeah, but it was worth it. It was worth every cent. It was amazing. Saw our buddy Sean Clark out there. He was with Slavatia Jovan, who is Gozer. And that was really cool. There's pictures of him if you guys follow Sean Clark from Horror Hound and
okay, you ready?
A lot of the Scream Factory releases. There's pictures of him on his Instagram, or it might be his Facebook, either on social media, with him and Gozer in the fucking Ecto together. And I was laughing my ass off. I thought it was awesome. But anyway, Ghostbusters Fan Fest, super chill. Best movie ever made, in my opinion. Best movie that will ever be made, in my opinion. So, yeah, there you go. On to the fucking music.
Okay, so we're going to do the adult awards of 1984.
Oh, we're doing porn before music.
That's correct.
So
the winner was Richard Paccio for Irresistible, Eric Edwards for Sexcapade, Jerry Butler for In Love, John Leslie for Nothing to Hide. John Leslie, as a side note, I met in real life and was a hell of a fucking sax player. Ron Jeremy, Scoundrels. Sharon Mitchell, Sexcapades. Kay Parker, Intimate Lessons. Kelly Nichols, Puss in Boots. Lisa Bay, Scoundrels. Tiger, Scoundrels. Best all-sex film, Co-Ed Teasers. Golden Girls, the movie. Satisfactions. The Erotic World of Angel Cash. Young Doctors in Lust. Winner, Cafe Flesh. All American Girls, Intimate Lessons,
Cafe
Scoundrels, Flesh. The Devil and Miss Jones Part 2. By the way, Kay Parker, I would eat her ass like a fucking taco. I'd just be like, and just sing while I was doing it. Because Devil and Miss Jones, I don't think I've ever had a bigger hard-on in my life than when she came in and took that sweaty dick in her mouth. All right. Winner, All-American Girls. In the pink, Cafe Flesh, Not Hunger, Scoundrels.
Yeah.
Best Director, Cecil Howard for Scoundrels. Anthony Spinelli for Nothing to Hide. Gerald DiMaggio, Not Hunger. Henry Pacha, Devil and Miss Jones Part 2. Again, Kay Parker, dropping that goo. Sean Costello, Hot Dreams. And the best editing was Scoundrels, Hot Dreams, Naughty Girls Need Love 2, Not Hunger, and Puss in Boots.
I need to look up Kay Parker. I need to see how much of a West special this is.
Here's the look up Kay Parker. Yeah,
So,
I mean, hopefully it's a modern
Kay.
Grand Ecstasy, Penetration, Pleasure So Deep, The French Butler, The Naughty Victorians, and Erotic Tale of the Maiden's Revenge.
Oh yeah, that's a total West special.
Best New Starlet, Hypatia Lee, Jacqueline Lorenz, and Shauna Grant. Best screenplay. That's hilarious.
She's got some knockers.
Oh yeah, I've wanted her to breastfeed me. And then fucking jack my young cock off into her fucking cunt. Here's some more. This is some more. This is Best Shot on Video Production, Blue Voodoo, Blue Interview, Centerfold Celebrities 2, The Personal Touch 2, Valley Vixens.
Kay Parker is the centerfold.
She really is. Ooh. Best Supporting Actress, Tiffany Clark, Hot Dreams, Honey Wilder, Taboo 2, She Eats Out Kay's Pussy. Linda Shaw, Sorority Sweethearts, Lisa DeLaRue. Lisa DeLaRue was hot as hell. Up and Coming, Samantha Fox, Babe. And yes, that's the same Samantha Fox that did the Naughty Girls Lean Lip. She was a porn star first. Okay, kids, that was your porn for 1984. Now let's do your metal albums for 1984.
Fuck yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Parker, West special.
Okay, and there's some rock stuff mixed in here too. Again, this is kind of the bridging over where some of this stuff was whatever and some was other stuff, you know, and blah blah, and et cetera, et cetera. And we've done this list before, so I'm not going to just beat this to death into your skull, but we're going to run through it because there's a lot of good stuff on here. And we'll start out with
look at him.
One of my favorite bands.
It's like I'm hiding under you.
First band to go to #1 on Billboard is a hard rock / metal artist. Not with this record. This is the follow-up, but this is Quiet Riot, Condition Critical.
Fuck yeah.
TNT, which is a band from Norway. Their hair band, Knights of the New Thunder. It's an amazing album. Warlock, Dora Pesh, Love You.
Fuck yeah.
Burning the Witches. Helix, Walking the Razor's Edge. Their best album. It's a Canadian band. Y&T, if you're a Bay Area fan, that band's very popular from there. It's also my favorite album from them was In Rock We Trust. Let me get this. I can't see the damn phone. Saxon, Crusader. Bon Jovi, self-titled debut. Kiss, Animalize. Saint Vadas, self-titled debut. Perfect Strangers from Deep Purple. That's for Wheelchair Fucker. Self-titled from Bathory. My favorite Venom album, At War with Satan.
Yeah.
Actually, it's not my favorite album. It's like my second album. Whatever. Exciter, which is that band I was talking about earlier today, kind of underrated band. Sign of the Hammer from Manowar. Slide It In from Whitesnake. Some of the best guitar playing John Sykes ever did after he left Thin Lizzy. Or actually, I guess that would have been before he joined Thin Lizzy. Either way, it's fucking awesome. Wings of Tomorrow from Europe. Night on Broshen from Fate's Warning, however the hell you say that. Morbid Tales from Celtic Frost. It's essential stuff. Look for the interview that Corey did with Tom Warrior. It's coming down the road, the pike, sometime there for you. This is another one for Wheelchair Fucker. Warren Payne from Voivod. Hell to England from Manowar. That's my favorite Manowar record. March of the Saint from Morbid Saint. John Bush, Love You. The Warning from Queen's Reich. My favorite Wasp album, the self-titled album from Wasp. It's amazing. Tooth and Nail, a little something for me and Corey there from Dawkins. Rising Force, Yngwie Malmsteen's amazing
Just
record.
got
Stay
back
Hungry
in.
from Twisted Sister, they're one of their best
Let's
records.
got Burning Hell.
Fistful of Metal from Anthrax.
Yep.
Love It First Sting from the Scorpions. Out of the Cellar from Rat. Ride the Lightning from Metallica. Last in Line from Dio. Don't Break the
Dio
Oath from Merciful Fate. Power Slave from Iron Maiden. Defenders of the Faith from Judas Priest. And finally, and not last, but definitely not least, my favorite Van Halen album, 1984.
Best one.
Done.
It's got all of it on there. Got my favorite Van Halen song on there too.
Actually, you know what? And just for that, we will
Panama.
play. I'm actually going to do just a snippet.
Panama.
But not that. But I'm going to do a snippet of.
That's my favorite Van Halen song. I know it's cheesy, but
No, it's amazing.
that's my favorite one. Makes me want to do fucking coke and go run on the beach. That's what makes me want to do. Corey's in Panama. Like I wish I could have a fucking like a Kenny G.
And we'll just do a shout out here too.
I have a Kenny G Jufro or super long. Sounds like ECW.
Extreme Championship.
Maybe it's where they stole it from.
What's that sample? The
We may have taken it from this.
probably.
If you guys are wondering what I'm playing the intro to Van Halen 1984, and it's entitled 1984. It also means if you're seeing this live, you're about to hear them play Jump, and I'm probably coming on myself somewhere with a cold beer. Love it.
Vincent's gonna jump.
Anyway, so there was that.
Yeah, like seeing Van Halen, I'd have to have like a fucking 8-ball.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Because I would just be like, whoa!
every time I've seen them, I've drank.
We go to Space
Except when I was little.
We gotta go to Space Mountain.
Very little.
Yeah.
Very little. But yeah, it was awesome.
Let's go to Candy Mountain, Charlie. Oh, God.
But yeah, so there's 1984, and we're back to Chuck, and he is about to go to a brothel looking for the other main actor in this film.
We did see some Mr. Skinless in there.
Yeah, definitely. There's definitely Mr.
There's
Skinless.
Some good rack.
Actually, he's leaving the club.
Yeah.
Excuse me. He's already went and found Emmett Walsh,
He's already seen
and now he's leaving. This
some,
guy's probably going to take him out or
some-
lie to him or kill him.
Bangkok rack. You just see out his face. Which I want to give a shout out to Annika, the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She was a fine stripper. It was great. It was a good
What?
time. This chick, Annika, that was a stripper.
What are you talking about?
Have I not told you this at all?
No. Go ahead and say it. We've already started on here. Don't edit
This is
it. Don't
new
pause it.
information for the doctor. But when I was in LA, I went to the Comedy Store, which is the comedy.
The thing that Pauly Shore's mom owned?
I guess I didn't know.
It is, yeah.
I went there because I wanted to go, at least be there. You know, the Laugh Factory's right up the street. You know, but once the Comedy Store, the shows are sold out. But there's a bar outside, like a patio, so you can just sit out there, and there's a bar you can drink. And I was sitting there just for a while, just watching people come and go. And eventually this dude came up. His name's Jesse, the only guy who I had ad on social media. Like, he had long hair, shit like that. I figured he, was going to eventually talk to me, or we look the same, or whatever. And he'll be listening to this, I'm sure, but I ended up walking and getting another drink, and he came up, he's like, hey man, I'm Jesse, whatever, what's up? He just introduced himself, being nice, and we ended up, he's really into like the stoner metal stuff, and he goes to a lot of festivals and shit, and he subscribed to Phantasm. So Jesse, shout out to you, you're a cool ass motherfucker. You already know what we're doing, because there's not a lot of we don't do a lot of stoner stuff, so be disappointed on that, but appreciate the subscribe, and if you listen, thank you, and we'll see you soon. But these three guys,
Walsh.
These three guys walked up, and there's some more titties, and they were all like getting fucked up and shit, and then one thing led to another, and they were all, they were closing the bar. It was like 2:30 at this point. So, his name escapes me now. There's Keith, Chris, and then the main motherfucking dude. But right now I can't think of his name. I think it's Evan. But he was trying to get people to go with him to the strip club, and he was just like, this was Saturday night. I was leaving Sunday night, basically. Like
Okay.
6 something. That's a lot of Asian ass. Dig it. Chuck Norris.
You recognize him at Walsh?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's the shit.
It's awesome.
Carnival personnel only. Damn!
It's hard to fucking, with all this ass. That's fucking awesome. But anyway, he's trying to get people to go with him to strip club, and then he was like, you going to strip club? And
Wheelchair fucker. Naven R. Sounds like a typical bastard. Mm-hmm. That's him.
Wow.
Referencing The Jerk, kids, if you've never seen it.
You random son of a bitch.
Carl Reiner.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I think that's the relation with The Jerk. I think it's Jay Chadway did the music for that, the score. If I'm not
Weird.
mistaken. There's some relation to this movie and The Jerk other than
crazy.
Other than Emmett Smith, I think. Probably not.
Die, you random son of a bitch.
I think it was just Emmett Smith was the relation with this.
So 3 guys came to a bar and picked you up.
Yeah, I was like, if you want to, I don't have the kind of money for that. I got to go home tomorrow. And I already don't really have money to get around. He was like, I'll tell you what, I'll pay for your cover and a dance if you go with us. I was like, okay. Like, yeah. Because that guy was from Louisiana. The other 2 were from Ventura, California. But they only do this, they only do it twice a year. They come to LA and do what they were doing. They go once in the winter and they go once in the summer to do exactly what they did.
Go to titty bars?
Yeah. They're married men. They just all get together because they're old-time friends, and they went to college together, I guess, and they meet up.
And they took you to a titty bar.
They took me to a titty bar. Not just any titty bar. We went to the fucking Body Shop, baby. That's Motley Crue shit. That's
it is.
in the fucking
it
video
is.
for girls. Yep. One of the 8 or 9 that are actually still there.
Fully nude.
Full nude. Yeah. Interesting experience. I've never seen a person as jacked and tall in my life as that bouncer. He is fit for that job because he was had to have at least been 6'9", black dude, and all of his body build was
pro football.
It was chest up though. He didn't even have a waist. It was all upper. I don't know how he was built like that. It was a freak of nature, but it was awesome. I seriously told him, I was like, you sir, yeah, bravo,
okay,
bravo on your shit. So you're sitting there, and he was like, let me know when you're ready when you find the one, and we'll throw you some. They didn't serve alcohol there. It's this fake Coors, it's in Coors bottles, but there's not. It's 2% alcohol or something. It's fucking weird. It's non-alcoholic beer. It's fucking
That doesn't make sense. So if you continue.
Yeah, there's non-alcoholic.
Trying to get the phone.
Yeah, so it's very, very small, whatever. So after a while of all these other strippers coming up to you and being like, hey, you want to go for a dance? And you have to be like, no. And you feel like a douchebag. And then Annika comes up. I don't think I've ever experienced in my life when a chick walks up to you, you hear music. And it wasn't the music playing in the...
Right, it just worked for you.
Yeah, it worked. It was just this is a movie in my... it's happening right now. This is pretty cool. Right. And it was Panama, too. It was bam, 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 bam. And I was tall, blonde, blue eyes, which I don't even go for in real life, but she was she wasn't porn star hot, she was Sports Illustrated hot. The hottest woman I've ever seen in my entire life, in person. And, yeah, so I went with that a good 2 times.
Okay.
She was from Iceland.
What were they dropping on each dance?
This is the best part. Baltimore is $30 for one dance. Everything on. Body Shop, $25 for topless, $40 for fully nude. So the first one I got was topless. Then one of the other dudes paid for my other dance, and then he got me he was like, you want a full nude one? What do you want? And I was like, yeah, I kind of. He's like, yeah, that's all you got to say. Oh, you got it, man. fucking gave me $40. And then went with Annika again. They like flagged her down. I was like, oh, when Annika comes back, I just want to get her again. So it was it was pretty awesome, I have to say.
Now this was your first strip club.
Second.
You went in Baltimore.
Yeah.
With Brand.
Yeah.
That's weird.
And that was fun.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Even
but I went with the first one. No, we weren't like around each other very much. We all did our own thing.
Gotcha.
And we were so fucking drunk at that point. Like, and I will say I give my Nuclear Assault shirt it is my strip club shirt because it's my lucky shirt because I didn't when I wore it the first time we went to the strip club in Baltimore, and that's where I got the shirt. But I wore that shirt in LA. It was the next time I ever wore it since Baltimore. And I had people just option me to go with them to a strip club. So it is my strip club shirt.
Cool.
Yeah, pretty awesome. I didn't know there was touching or whatever. And as soon as she took off her bra, she just like, she knew I was like wanting to. She grabbed my wrists and put my hands on her titties. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
Cool, man.
Big fake titties. It's beautiful. She's like, you like that? I'm like, yes, I do. And in Baltimore, was a beautiful black girl named Harmony. First one that came out to me. And I was like, yep, I'll take it. And she didn't do any nude, but she was like grabbing my dick and shit. And that was like my first experience. I was like, oh, I didn't know you guys could do that. She was like, you can touch everything but my pussy, baby. And I was like, don't mind if I do.
Cool.
It was pretty fun. Not something I would do all the time, because I'd rather just not do that. But it was a lot of fun. It's a different experience. Definitely need to drop a lot of coin. Like, the dudes I was with were doing like $200 shit, where they were like getting fucking trying to get blowjobs and shit. I guess one of them did. Because you drop enough money on the LA ones and they'll just fucking do whatever. But it's like, I'm not into that. I'd rather work for it and maybe get something. I'm not going to pay anybody to touch my penis. Not unless it was like, if I just had money to piss away and I could like go somewhere and they're like, fuck actual porn stars, I would totally pay for that.
Right.
Like, you'd be retarded not to. Not to say a lot of those strippers couldn't perform like porn stars, or maybe possibly are porn stars, but, you know, whatever, a couple times.
And that's something we could do together. That Baltimore thing's never happened. I'm never going to that fucking city. If you fucking paid me, that festival can eat my butt. I'm not going. I'm just not doing it. And I'm not, and the whole thing, just to clarify this to people, I don't care where it's at. I don't want to go watch a band that I listen to play for 10 minutes. I just don't.
Yeah, it's
I'm just not into it. And it's a beautiful thing. I want to bring this up, too, actually, about Maryland Death Fest. I fucked you twice, motherfuckers. I got Vader 2 years ago, and they didn't play. They played your festival. They did no interviews. They fucking got them. Gorgasm bailed on you, and I got them. So fuck you. I fucking love it. Like, what I wanted to see, I got to see anyway. So
yeah,
I'm good. I'm totally good. But yeah, I just don't like that whole fucking area. Like, I went to the D.C. area as a kid on, like, our safety patrol
I've never been to D.C.
I fucking hated it.
I don't like any of that. Like,
I fucking hated it. The fucking Exorcist is there. That's a sign to stay out of it.
You want me to get...
stay out of the D.C.
You want to get something else maybe you can fall asleep standing up? You want to see these... Oh, goddamn. Sorry, there's a...
Oh, yeah, it's bad.
Blood action going on. Like, you want to get me to fall asleep standing up? Just be like, hey, you want to see some of these monuments? Like, no. Well, why not? It's like American history. It's like, that's exactly why. That sentence, I don't care.
Right, exactly.
I'm one of the few people that could probably admit that I don't give a shit about the Washington Monument. I don't care about the Lincoln Memorial. I don't care about...
But you are a huge Capitals and fucking Nationals fan.
Fuck. No.
You know.
I don't care about...
Which is why you go there every year.
Yeah, it's secretly why I go. I actually put on an Ovechkin jersey now. I can't even say that out loud. That's awful. Yeah, I don't care for the Smithsonian. Like, what is it with people that just want to see that stuff? Like, I guess to see it in person It's huge. I get it. It's like,
I had more fun in Cincinnati with you, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm just weird like that. I don't know.
But I don't give a fuck about seeing these national monuments. Like, I could care less. You can't do anything with them. Everyone takes a picture of it. It's like, you can Google it and get a picture of it on Google for free. You don't have to fucking go there. Like, I just don't know what the obsession is with people.
Wow, that fucking sucks. JT Miller off the Lightning got traded to the Canucks.
Really?
They traded him.
Who'd they get?
Nothing. They just traded him.
They just freed up cap space?
Yep.
That's trash. That was one of your best players. He's a fucking bastard. There's another Ranger gone. But yeah, so if you ever want to be like, Corey, you want to go to the Smithsonian or the Washington Monument, I'd be like, absolutely not. I'd rather sit around and jerk off, honestly. There's no... Monuments don't do anything for me. They just don't. So, if you want to think of something else to do, like we can go to a strip club, we can go to a horror convention.
Actually, we got a goalie out of it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. You kind of need those. Because Vaseline Lesky didn't...
That's really gay. Patrick Marleau got moved from the Maple Leafs to the Hurricanes. It's so fucking stupid. Those fucking assholes got him. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, I think they're going to be annoying, just as annoying next year, too. Especially the Predators, I think, are going to be dog shit. They don't have Superman. But, LA's somewhere I want to have an excuse to go a lot, and I will.
It's a great place, man.
It's awesome. And, the most of the reason why it was so expensive for me was, one, because I got a one-way ticket there, so I had to get another ticket while I was there. And then two, I was at a festival, that Ghostbusters thing wasn't cheap to pay for, and I basically finished paying it right before I went. If I didn't have to do all that, then I would have had a lot more funds to just hang out, but it's about as expensive as anywhere else. It's definitely a different story if you live there, but if you're visiting, depending on what you want to do, it's not that expensive, Also depends on what part you want to go. If you want to go to Anaheim, the only reason I didn't go see an Angels game while I was there was because it's almost an hour away from LA, which I didn't know. I thought Anaheim was a little closer than that, but it's about an hour, and the Ubers to get out there were $67. So I'm not paying that to go. By the time I get there, it's it's almost $100. I'm not doing that just for a ride somewhere. I have to pay an additional $28 to get in to see a game. That's going to eat up 3 hours of time too, when I could be just moving around. But I think my favorite part of LA that I was at, because I stayed in Santa Monica for the sole purpose of I'm right by the beach.
Fuck JT Miller.
The whole reason I stayed in Santa Monica was so I can walk down to the beach and stuff. I went there the first time I was there. I didn't touch it the rest of the time. Just didn't care for the beach. But it was cool, and I wanted to spend more time there, but I needed to be over in Venice Beach, and I was over in the Santa Monica Pier area. It was way too crowded, and the weather was kind of pretty cold, actually, the first day I was there. And I just didn't really have time to just walk down to the beach and hang out. I think the beach is definitely somewhere you go with someone else, because going to the beach by yourself kind of sucks. You're just walking around the beach, kind of feel like a creep,
Yeah.
So it'd be a lot more. I definitely want to go back with somebody, with somebody to hang out with, and then go to the beach. It'd be more of an incentive to go and hang out there, because I just went and walked to it and saw it, and kind of walked around. But I'd say West Hollywood's my favorite part of the whole thing. That's where all the shit is. It's where the Comedy Store is, and the strip club, a lot of the other bars that were really cool are out that way. So if I go back, I'll stay in West Hollywood. It's a lot closer with stuff I kept frequently going back.
Now, you went to Mann's Chinese Theater, didn't you?
No, I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't go? You should have done that.
Yeah, I know. I was fairly close to it. But no, I didn't go to the Chinese Theater. But again, a lot of things I didn't do, so I would go back and do them. I didn't go to the Forest Hill Park Cemetery, because Ubers are pretty expensive to go out there. So it's just didn't do a whole lot.
I haven't been in years, but when I went, I mean, I made the most of it. I think, you know,
I made the most of what I had, but if it was, you know,
but see, I don't do, and
I had
this
those
is just
conventions to eat.
I don't do the titty bar when I go out there. I do the.
I wouldn't do it again.
I do the hooker thing.
I would like to.
I straight up get the porn star, have them come to my room, ejaculate my penis with her mouth and her vagina and her asshole, and then I'm done.
That's what I'd rather do, but you know, I didn't know where all that shit was, and
that's the master.
Definitely didn't have the money for that. So.
Well, the master can still tell you how to do that and get you a deal, and that way you're not dealing with a cop or something,
right?
You know, but
just need to go to Vegas for that.
Well, that's good too. But, you know, it's not legal in Vegas either. It's dangerous as hell in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's legal in Nevada. It's not legal in Vegas.
Right.
But the thing with it is, I mean, Vegas is a good place that too, man. I've done that a million times, escort my penis into some girl's mouth. But I mean, and we can go. You want to get a deal, kids? Listen, I'm going to give you some. I've never done the entire time I've been on this podcast. Love lessons with Dr. Vincent West right now. So what we would do, it's very simple. We get our hotel room. We either have one room, 2 beds, or do 2 separate rooms, whatever you want to do. Go down to the bar, except we're not drinking. We're drinking soda.
Mm-hmm.
You make it look like it's a mixed drink. We're not drinking, you know. Of course, I get whiskey, Dick. That's why I don't. You do whatever you want. I'm drinking.
It's like Viagra for me for some reason.
Okay, well then you drink.
But
and I'll do.
I know how to keep
I'll do the
myself,
Sprite where it looks like I've got a mixed drink.
I know how to keep myself composed too. Yeah.
I ain't worried about that. If it gets you're ready to roll, you're good. No. So what you do, here's the kicker. This is Vegas. Anybody listening, this is what you do. Go down there with your friend. Have you a wingman. Don't do it by yourself. Sit down there. Round 1, 2, 3, they're going to start coming around. They're going to sit down beside you, near you. Not on top of you, but near you. Talking. Next thing you know, just lean on over and stick the hand on that ass. But not on this cactus.
Yeah.
And if they're letting you touch them, they're not a cop.
Yeah.
Take them up to the room. You're getting a deal. You're probably getting it for fucking 100, 150. Slip your penis into their mouth and their vagina, asshole, whatever your pleasure is, and you're good. And that's a Dr. Vincent. Well, I did it for years, and in Vegas don't change. But I'll tell you what does come home from Vegas is if you don't wrap your dick.
I always wrap my
So
dick.
you always. I'm just saying. So for the people out there that are not listening, always wrap it. Wrap it because you don't want AIDS.
Just
because you went
to high school with a chick doesn't mean you know what she has on her
crabs
fucking
a
coochie.
wheelchair fucker. You don't want to do that, you know. Or some kind of STD, gonorrhea like he has. So we had to go get a hammer and hit his dick with it, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
Knocks out that.
No, you don't want that, you know.
Yeah, you don't want a pus penis.
You know, STD, any kind of venereal disease, you know, obviously wheelchair fucker has them, but, you know, it's you can avoid them by just taking care of yourself, you know.
That's why he fucks women in wheelchairs, because they can't get away.
Exactly. But the thing with it is, look, the beautiful thing is, though, is at any time, at any given time, you can go down there and just have a good time, man. And that's my thing. My logic, and I think it's great those dudes hooked you up and took care of anything, but to me, that's a waste of money.
Oh, it is. Seeing them blow all of it, I was like, why are you doing that? You could have just, like, actually had sex.
Pay for it. I got no shame in that.
But I think that's what they were trying to do. But they're not going to offer.
You're not going to. You ain't
there. Strippers aren't there to fuck.
You're going to pay $4 or $5 grand to some girl that you were fascinated with at a titty bar.
Yeah,
you know, fuck that. I'd rather just have the real deal come, especially a porn star.
Yeah.
You know. Or the ones late at night like that. That ain't going to be no porn star. But you just get some dirty whore that wants to come in there and get busy. Yeah. You know.
And get some cash.
And here's the great thing. You want to do freaky shit? You know, you just want to get one. There's just one down there. One of us, while we're on the elevator, I'll take her fucking panties. I'll put them on my face. You know?
Be like, it smells good. It's West approved.
It's like, we're good. Chuck, you're weird. So it's like, yeah, we're about to double stuff you. You're about to take a Phantasm Cumcast. But the thing with it is...
You're about to go up and down these flows.
You are. I mean, I'm serious, you know, and that's what's cutting loose and getting out there for me and doing stuff like that. Because for me,
yeah, if I had the cash,
I mean, when I saw my true story, when I saw my uncle rail a hooker by accident, walk in and he's totally railing this chick, I was like, I'm gonna have to get in on this, you know, not that, but I need to go find my own, you know.
Yeah.
And this, I'll never forget this. This was in 1999. And yeah, he was. He's like, you need to go out there and cruise your own deal. And I did. And I had an app. It was great. But it was disturbing. But, at the same time, it's like, he's right. I need to go get my own thing on. But for me, the fake drink chick is the best. Because they're saying, oh, he's loaded. I'm going to be able to take advantage. It's like, I'm drinking Sprite, bitch.
I'm good to go.
Yeah, I've been good to go. I just need to pee the Sprite.
Like how much you've had to drink? You're like, a lot. But I'm good. I had a lot of Sprite.
And even one time I went to Vegas, I met this chick from Santa Cruz, California, that was just out there hanging out, and we ended up rodding each other. It was great. And she wasn't even a hooker. She was just out there just gambling and being stupid. And we were like hanging out one night, and I was drunk. And I remember waking up in some mashed potatoes.
What?
Yeah, I had apparently ordered some kind of, like Salisbury steak mashed potatoes meal at some restaurant, and I woke up in the mashed potatoes, like my hair, like I was in the mashed potatoes. But what was great was we didn't do anything that night, and like the next day she's like, do you want to hang out? And I was like, yeah, and we went and saw Striper.
Nice.
And she was jacking me off during Striper. He's like,
don't you see? No.
I was like, ah. And then we left and I went and railed her. And then we talked for a while after that, but that chick was really cool, man. And her poon didn't smell, which is great. It's always a bonus. Ladies, we have any ladies listen to Phantasm? Don't ever give your guy the sweaty dumpster. Like no one wants
the wet gym sock.
No one wants that. No one wants. And I know somebody can't help it or what, and it's all good. But
yes, you can. You could. There's plenty of
FDS.
Yeah, there's not even that. There's also
feminine hygiene spray.
Yeah, look, ladies, and I'm a man, but I'm not stupid. I'm educated in your parts too. There's something, and this is what causes your vaginies to smell, is your pH balance, and that includes like medications you take. That includes stuff you eat. That includes just like stress and stuff like that. So there are ways to balance your pH, which is you can use creams and sprays and shit like that. Like simple like body wash can balance out your pH levels.
Give some women, man, it smells like a dumpster. Like it's rough.
Yeah, it's not like they're not taking care of themselves. I mean, a lot of them probably aren't. That stink like that.
Yeah, but if you eat McDonald's all day and drink Mountain Dew, and your who's going to smell like a fucking garbage can.
Yeah, if you're just like a total fucking dumpster cooter.
Right.
What I'm saying is
I don't want to name anybody for that, Julia.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah.
They actually bathe all the time, and their diet's not like Hardee's and fucking Del Taco. It's like normal, but they have like a pH imbalance, so it can cause it to be kind of just
sour.
Off a little bit,
sour,
like crotch, like just sweat.
Can't do it, man.
Just sweat like under fucking.
To be clear with you, I am not talking about a little butthole funk. I'm not talking about turd smells. I'm talking about just a fucking
crotch.
It's just a fucking hot tuna.
It's, you know what it smells like?
Hot tuna.
It smells like low tide at the beach.
Oh God!
Like when all the dead fish
wash
up,
awful.
It's just like.
I can't do that.
That's
a deal breaker when you get in their fucking panties and it's like, God damn!
You're just like,
I'll still fucking whack it.
No, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed after I masturbate about somebody else, or how you looked 5 minutes ago before I smelled your fucking your muff. Before I smelled your.
Dude, there's been so many girls I've been with girls that never had that issue. But then I've been with other ones.
I haven't been with any stuff. Well, I've been with one. She was kind of during the open relationship thing, and I knew she was gonna not be that great down there. I mean, she wasn't like.
How did you know?
Compromised, just because of the kind of person she is. You know, you can kind of tell some people. You're just like, yeah, she's probably gonna smell kind of weird down there. It wasn't the. It was an awful seagull impression, but it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't the. She didn't smell like the Hudson River, or Jones Beach, but she smelled like, just kind of like a little bit of crotchy smell, like when I.
You didn't have to eat it, did you?
Fuck no. When I was doing it from behind, I was just like, God, that kind of smells weird. You know? It didn't make me want to stop. Like it wasn't like a.
Yeah, Yeah, but it's not hot either.
It wasn't like a hot.
It's where you're going. Oh.
It wasn't like a landfill, but it was
it's like minute work. You know, you're like, let's do the nasty. Oh God. Oh, damn.
Pretty much, yeah.
But I mean, it's the interesting thing with me, the biggest misconception
is a little bit too
that
natural.
I think about that for me, honestly, is a lot of heavier set women that I've been with have been a lot cleaner than some of the thinner women I've been with.
Yeah, because they take the time to actually wash everything. Some regular women just don't shower for a few days. It's gross.
I don't know. All I know is I think it just depends.
Most women are, again, like poor diet, and you're not washing, and you're not decent enough to be like, I need to shower first. You're just going to be like, yeah, sure, and then I'll shower. It's like, no.
When your diet is Mountain Dew and Doritos, it's not going to smell good.
When you smell like an armpit farted, it's fucking gross.
Yeah.
It's just like, you.
Yep.
Just like, fucking
tug. I can't do it, man. It's just gnarly.
It's a tugboat.
It's bad, man.
It's a steamboat, sorry.
But you get people like that, man. You get people that
don't fucking take care of themselves, or at least like Axe body spray their fucking muff before they show up. So if it were me, if I had a fucking smelly pecker, I'm not gonna fucking stick.
No, but my whole thing is when you take their panties off, it shouldn't smell like a dead animal.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you kind of have a small idea of if you're gonna get freaky or not. Because I've had to do it before. I'll be like, man, I didn't shower today, and I'm about to whip my fucking hog out. Like, I'll go in the fucking sink and fucking sink bathe my fucking cock and balls. Like, I've done that before. It takes like 2 minutes to fucking
Let me tell you something right now, dude.
This is a damn process.
This is another thing I'm going to pass out for the men out there.
If
you're getting busy, don't be that guy. All you've got to do, okay, you ready? All you've got to do is go in there, go in the bath, lock the door, run the sink, and take your junk, take your shorts off, your pants, and then get up on the sink like this.
Yeah, you do the fucking cock bath.
And bidet it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I swear I did.
But you bidet the sink.
Or I'll do it
like this. Turd, asshole, hit it all.
Or I'll do it in I'll straight up like do like a small bath. Like I'll do like a bathroom and just like splash the water on my fucking gooch and my asshole.
You got to.
Like, I don't fuck around. Like, if I'm preparing to...
And then, if you're really nice, then you do while you're doing it, you do the...
Yeah, you do the...
You get the pits.
You do the armpits, asshole, crotch, and teeth.
You just... all that. Listerine that. You're ready to go.
Yeah.
And women can say they're cleaner than... No, that's a whole deal down there.
Yeah, you don't want to pull out a fucking cheese stick. It's disgusting. Or you don't want to pull out a fucking, Jack Links. Because I take pride in whipping it out and you being like,
or the worst, it's just cottage cheese.
Oh, it's the famunda. You don't want the stinky balls. Like, it's fucking gross.
Well, I always got weirded out because certain chicks I'd be with, like when they came, they'd leave like white crust on me.
Yeah, I've had that too.
I don't like that.
It's weird.
It smells weird too.
It's a pH thing too.
It stinks.
That way that cum is. Yeah.
Because I'll be in there like washing off. I'm like, oh.
It's like I stuck my dick in a can.
And then I'm doing it again. I'm back up in the sink.
Yeah,
in the sink.
You're like, man, I'm in the bathroom a lot. I'm sorry about that.
Cleaning the sink, and you got to. But the thing with it is, it's like I
don't like the funk, the crust funk. I don't like it. It's like stick your dick in a candle.
It's weird. I don't like it. And it's the consistency of it's weird too. Have you ever felt it?
Yeah, it's really like I don't know. It's like fucking. It's like donut glaze. That's what it feels like.
See, for me, for me, it's even grosser than that.
Or it's like skin or something.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It's like you think that's what it is, but it's like not.
Well, or you do something dumb like I did. Like I was messing with it, and I was like, oh.
Yeah. Oh, did you taste it?
No, I huffed it.
Oh. Ugh.
Yeah, it
fly up your nose.
No, that didn't happen, but it could have, easily. It grossed me out. But yeah, you have that. I mean, I don't know. But anyway, guys, take care of your pH stuff. We'll get back to Chuck here. He's about to do some killing. Paul Ryan's on the podcast today. I fucking love him. There's 2-part episode. Corey put up the first one. It's kind of out there doing its own thing. And so this will be connected with... Are we going to just put them both on this?
No, we'll do them separate.
Okay, cool.
That's how you originally wanted to do it.
Yeah. We'll leave it like that. Anyway, enjoy. I love you, Paul. I don't know what you're up to, brother. Hope everything's good. Yeah. So, and I love this movie. This movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it's a Pretty raunchy.
C4.
Yep.
He's placing C4. This baby's about over. And there's not much left of this movie. He's just killing people.
He's drinking a beer. There you go. Not Chuck.
But yeah, moral of the story, don't go to strip clubs. Invest in your local hookers.
Yeah, it's all about local business and supporting local business.
Support that local business because you're going to feel
Me, on
better.
the other hand, I've already done...
If your wallet's empty in the morning, at least your balls will be too. You go to the strip club, they're not going to be empty unless you whacked it when you got back.
Yeah, which I couldn't do till the morning because I had to stay in a hostel with like 4 dudes. So I couldn't just come home in a bunk bed and fucking whack it.
Talk about that real quick. What was that like?
It was fine. I really didn't see them.
Would I have liked that? Probably not.
I mean, like I said, you didn't even...
I like to walk around nude a lot, though, when I'm in a hotel.
I mean, they're all foreign dudes. They don't fucking give a shit. But, like... I didn't like it because, you know, I was always coming back in late. Like, it'd be like, Cora's in at 4 a.m. and they're, like, way asleep because they're going to go fucking, like...
Disney World or something.
They're going to go fucking take a dump in the mountains. Like, I don't know what they're doing, but just, like, other shit.
Was it not in my car?
No, it wasn't. The one guy was from Canada. Big motherfucker, too. It looks like he played Canadian football or, like, rugby.
Damn.
He was just like, yeah, you know, I'm just coming out of here. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Forget what part of Canada he's from.
But what kind of bread did you have to pay to stay with all those dudes?
Like $58 a night. Which ain't shit. That's a hostel, you know. You're paying way less because you have to stay in a room with a bunch of people. Instead of paying, like, $197 a night to, like, $200.
How many nights were you out there?
Thursday through Sunday. So 3 nights, basically.
Next time you should just do it up and we'll get an actual room.
Oh, I'm going to. I would never stay. Like, if I had... Oh, fuck. If I had to, and I needed to save money...
You sounded like Stevie from fucking...
yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck, I can't feel my leg.
I can't feel my leg. But if I ultimately had to save money, I would do the hostel thing, because it's actually fine. Like, I barely saw the dudes, and whenever I did see them, they were pretty cool, but, like, I would
Did you have your own bed, or did you have to bunk with them?
Well, you have, like, a bunk bed, so it's like I was on the bottom, and the other dude was on top, but, like, I never saw them. The only part I hated about it...
Is there a toilet in the room?
Yeah. I paid for the one that was a little nicer, where we had our own bathroom, because a lot of the other ones, like the cheap ones, you bunk with, like, 6 to 10 people instead of, like, 4 to 6. And you don't have your own bathroom in the room. You have to go to the fucking shared bathroom. So I got the one that was like 4 to 6 people, and we had our own bathroom. It was super chill. And like,
did you ever have to take a shit and they were in there?
No. Like I said, the hours worked out for me.
So you never saw them?
A couple times, yeah.
Did y'all have a TV in there?
No, it's just like beds in the fucking bathroom. That's it.
That's weird.
And there's lockers and stuff, so you can put all your shit in there, so you don't have to have it laying out. I didn't use a locker. I just put all my shit there. You know, most people wouldn't do that. They'd be really cautious with their shit getting stolen. But I was like, whatever.
It's very interesting.
Yeah,
Lower price at a hostel, ladies and gentlemen.
Was
tonight
chill.
On Vincent West Explores.
It was chill though, because I rarely, like maybe 3 days, I only saw them maybe a couple times. But the thing I did hate about it was coming in late and like having to be quiet instead of just like, you know, like Friday night I was pretty drunk, so like I didn't want to just stumble in and have to be quiet about being
right,
drunk.
Right, exactly. Right.
I want to fucking barge in and just fucking have my own space and just be like, yeah, fuck, you know, and not have to worry about being loud, you know, because that's kind of obnoxious. Because you're on vacation, you don't want to hold back by any means, you know, because you don't have to.
No, of course not. Of course not.
But in that situation, you obviously can't just like barge in and be a fucking loud dick. Like you gotta be quiet. So that, other than that, it was fine. But would I'd rather just have my own room? Absolutely. I mean, anybody would. But you gotta pay extra for that. So
sure.
A little over $200 a night, which is outrageous. Just for 3 days.
That is a lot of money.
You're gonna be paying almost.
It's a lot of money.
$700 just to.
It's a lot of cash.
Versus what I paid was $250, I think, for 3 days. Altogether,
right?
Anywhere else, if you stayed at like a hotel, you'd be paying a lot more than that. Yeah, it was cool.
Awesome.
Hot ass chicks out there.
Oh yeah, it's a great place. I love it.
Not as bad as I was thinking.
Minus the titty bar and the hostel and the Ghostbusters convention, I would have had fun.
Yeah.
I mean, just for me, not for you. That's perfect.
The Ghostbusters thing about that, was it a great experience? Yeah, absolutely. It was cool. You know, did I care about like the people around me and all that stuff? No. I mean, I just wanted to meet Dan. I wanted to, like, even the panel.
No, dude. I totally get why you went to it. I'm just saying, like, me going to that would be no different than me going to like a cosplay convention. I'm just not going to go.
Yeah, it's not. When I was
It's barely death. I'm just not going to go. It's not. It has nothing to do with like.
The whole time
you shouldn't go.
The whole time I was walking around, I was thinking of the shit you was saying. It was making me felt like you were there with me, and it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Channeled you being there, so I'd just be like.
Now, full disclosure, kids, if you haven't paid attention to Phantasm recently, thanks to this gentleman right here, I do love Horror Hound. I love it.
And that was my first time going too, so I
love it. I'm excited about September. I hope we're still doing that.
Absolutely. I will say, and this is, you guys have seen me do these conventions for a couple of years now.
You're a convention pro. He's a goddamn pro.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. You go to enough of them. We went to like.
You're a convention pro. I'm not. You are.
Went to like 4 or 5 in a year. Like, I mean, that's a lot.
You're a pro.
The best convention, most well-ran, oiled machine of a convention. Fun. Just a good time. Great fucking guests. Organized. And if before I continue with the praising, if you go online and go to anything, people, some of the like the pickiest people on the planet are convention goers, and I get it. You're dropping a lot of coin to go to these things. A lot of people are traveling pretty far to go.
Right, exactly.
Like when we go to Indianapolis, we're going to be traveling 6-7 hours. It's not close. It's further than Cincinnati. It's about 2 more hours, but still worth it. Totally worth it. And we'll be Pimp Daddy in the fucking West, and it's gonna be fucking dope. We're gonna be in the motherfucker, not down the street. But yeah, people complain a lot on convention shit. There's always something. You just ignore those people. Have your own experience. Don't listen to what everyone else is saying, because there's always more positives to a negative, especially at conventions. They're some of the most fun things you could ever do. What I will say about all the conventions I've been to, Days of the Dead, Mad Monster, Texas Frightmare, a lot of like other random local cons and other shit around the south and the southeast and shit. Horror Hound is the most well-ran convention I've ever been to. And that was just one time going to Cincinnati this past year.
I hope we're going back there.
Yeah, no, that's going to be the only one I go to now. The only other, I would like to check out some more. I do want to go to Spooky Empire. Probably not going to happen. It's pretty soon. And going to Tampa, that's a lot of planning. But I would like to go to Spooky Empire because I heard it's a really good time. I've heard the Monster Paloozas are really good. I would love to go to Scares That Care, but when I didn't realize, because that was the one in August. But Williamsburg is like 7 hours. But would I do that for Joe Bob Briggs and Keith David? Yeah, I would. But that's something we'd have to really think about, because the month after that is Horror Hound. I'd rather save our coin for Horror Hound. Yeah. The Scares That Care is great. If you guys have never been, I've never been. But the people that run that are always at a lot of these horror conventions. I think it's Joe Ripple. If I got your name wrong, I'm sorry. We're friends on Facebook. He's one of the guys that do the Scares That Care. It's charity. You donate. It's great. It's a great cause for what they do, and you get some amazing fucking horror guests like Joe Bob Briggs and Keith David. They have a Monster Squad reunion. They have a Thing reunion. They got a ton of stuff this year, so definitely check that out. It's only $40 for the weekend.
And actually, at that convention, Wheelchair Fucker will be there this year, and he will fuck your handicapped relatives.
Yeah, so just bring them for the Wheelchair Fucker.
They can just wheel up in their nasty ass fucking hover round or fucking.
They're so sticky they can
fucking Walmart cart, and he'll just
they're jazzy.
He'll pull it down dry and just give it to you.
Just raw dog your mouth.
Dry. You'll feel that Connecticut loins explode in your holes, and you won't know what pleasure is. And then you'll have AIDS too.
Yeah,
you'll have all his VD and love in you.
Connecticut.
He's going to give you a shot of VD love.
He'll hike down his Connecticut britches, then take his Danish dong and
his Hanes his way, and
Hanes his way.
His Mountain Dew panties from fucking Dollar General, and he'll shoot that fucking filthy load in you.
Shoot that cheese Danish in you.
He is. He's going to let you have that cheese dog because that thing ain't circumcised, and he's going to just shoot it right in your loved one's fucking crippled hole.
It's a cheese worm. Cheese weasel. That's fucking gross. But anyway.
He's going to give you that dick and turn it into a check.
But, yeah, Horror Hound is the best friend. People were super nice, except for one fucking dickhead that guy was a dick. Obviously from Cincinnati. He was just some hired staff member that was a queef. But other than that, whole thing.
She had no line, but yeah, we weren't allowed to get in the line.
Yeah, we had to get like a ticket. It was fucking stupid. It's like,
and then he wouldn't let the people with the tickets get in the line.
Yeah. Like, actually, he's going to have to, like, just stop for a couple hours. You might want to
we should have went and got Biff to walk over to him and be like, why don't you make, like, a tree and get out of here?
Yeah.
That's what we should have done.
Yeah, but to get the doctor to be reluctant to go to a convention, it was pretty rare. And he went, and he loved it. So
I did.
That's what we're going to stick with. Because I've been to the other ones. I know how they work. I know
at first I seemed kind of, but I thought I had a really good attitude to most of the whole thing.
You really did. You carried me through it, because I didn't.
I had a good time.
Second day. I was just like,
except for that, I was acting like shit that one time. I apologize.
Right, but it happens. It's fine. But, yeah, Horror Hound's best friend, by far. Days of the Dead, not that they've lost all the people they've lost. I mean, I can just tell it's a fucking foot long.
Fun story for them real quick. One thing that I have a really fun highlight was when we went to the Gaba party thing, and you and I had snuck fucking beer in there.
Yeah.
We're just walking around with beer. We're not even supposed to have that motherfucker. Watching a burlesque show or something. It was cool. I had a lot of fun. The whole thing was fun, man. The little dude from New York, I can't remember his name, the dude from New York, the Tom Atkins dude, that guy was cool, and it was fun. I had a good time. I can't believe how much fun I had, actually. Like, I needed it, too. It was a good time.
Yeah, we had some White Castle, super chill.
Oh, it was great, man.
Ben from
We
Fried
did a
Rags.
Target beer run, Walmart beer run. We had fun. We had a good time.
Yeah, we got those low carb PBRs there.
I still drink that, man. That's good shit.
Well, we found them.
Kroger, you can get the tall boys. You can go to Target. You can get the 12-pack.
Some of the gas stations have them, like the one right up here have them.
Nice.
But it's weird. Speaking of Ohio, the gas station up here that sells the PBR, because they also have that like, I forget what they call it now. It's the black can PBRs. They got like the 6% alcohol.
I haven't seen those.
Yeah, they sell those right here too.
I've never seen those.
They came out at the same time, but they're 6%.
Anthony was asking
PBRs.
for those in Gorgasm.
6%. They're just like black label PBRs, but they're called like something. They were called black label.
Never seen them.
Yeah.
Now let me try one of those sometime.
Yeah, they sell them here in 12 packs and shit. But they also now carry Faygo, which I've only seen a couple times here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they have Faygo now. And
like the ICP thing. That's crazy.
Which is really good. I like their drinks. They're like better Fanta, honestly. They're Michigan cola, but they have weird flavors like fucking cotton candy and like blueberry and
cool.
But it has a little more flavor to it. All their flavors.
Have you tried Watermelon Crush?
Yes.
David really likes it. My buddy, he's really.
It's all right.
He said it's too goddamn sweet a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at.
The motherfucker don't give a shit. He's getting fucking drunk with it probably.
I'm pretty simple. You give me grape drink or orange drink, I'm good with that. Don't venture too far. Like I do like the Faygo cotton candy, but would I get it every day? Fuck no. But Fanta, or orange.
I love Chuck Norris, but it feels like we're watching Gone with the Wind.
On our Deliverance. I don't know what's going on.
It's just not ending. It just won't end. Actually, it looks like he's like in the back of a fucking Bass Pro Shop. He's like, let me take these customers out for a spin.
He's about to get his pontoon boat. Yeah, I mean they got.
But again, this is supposed to be Japan, and they probably shot this off the coast of California. It's just, it's pretty funny. It's Golden Globus, baby. Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. It was a great experience. I'm excited to go to Indy. It should be fun.
Let's see, I think Days of the Dead depends on which show you go to, like the location. You know, anytime I went to Indy Days of the Dead, because that's where they originated.
Well, it seems like this roster at the Indianapolis one, because I remember the one roster Cincinnati last year, and then the roster in Indy, they were both good.
Yeah, and that's the other thing, is like...
Have they added anything different on there?
Days of the Dead will have some decent guests, but they're not like guests you want to travel way out for.
Anything new that they've added recently that's crazy? Or
I don't think so. Not yet.
But more
again,
Ackerman, I'm all about that.
You go to Days of the Dead in Indianapolis, it's great. It's where it originated. There's parties all night to where you're like, I gotta go to bed, and there's still people up.
Right.
And that's what you want, you know. But a lot of the other shows, the Atlanta shows, are just fucking dead. They don't sell. Same thing with Louisville, which is like a newer show for them. And they're taking over a lot of spaces that already have conventions once a year, but they're doing them at times they're not there. I think it's kind of a shit move, to be honest with you. And
are we going to try to stay in the main hotel next time in Cincinnati?
Yes, because the only reason we didn't then, because I'm not a guy that does that, where if I don't get the host hotel, because I'm a fucking asswipe, then I don't go. So this time, I didn't know the host hotel was in the convention center. So I didn't book it, because I had no idea. Because I'd never done it. But, you know, I didn't say anything about it. Like, I was like, host hotel.
I was just curious if that's something you wanted to do or not. We don't have to. It's up to you to split it.
No, that's how I do it. Especially if you're drinking, because you can just go back and forth to your fucking room. We don't have to walk in and out of this motherfucker.
Or to go to a goddamn bar, either.
That's what I'm saying, but, like, that's how you do it at conventions. Like, you want to stay at the host hotel so you can just, when you're tired or you want to put your shit up, you just go to your room instead of having to walk outside of that hotel.
Which is fucking cold.
Yeah, and go down the damn street.
I mean, it was cold the whole fucking time we went. It was stupid. It was this fucking March. It even snowed on us, remember?
But we did, yeah, it did.
When we were leaving, it fucking snowed on us, yeah.
We were like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it was a beautiful trip home once we got out of there.
It was fucking March, and it was snowing.
Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
You
gotta have the fan food.
Yeah. I got me the McChicken. Yeah, we had a good time, man. Like I said, I love those guys. I got nothing but love for Horror Hound. If you guys have never been to a horror convention, you're like me and you're kind of weird and you're not really, you're just kind of a fucking nut job like me, then,
if you want something,
check it out.
If you want like a big one, but you're not worried about how big it is, Texas Frightmare is cool, but damn, you're waiting in lines, it's very congested. It's not as fun.
I don't think I would have liked that.
I didn't. Like, I liked it. I liked the people. It is well ran and organized, and there wasn't any issues with anything like that. I just don't, going to the ones I went to, I don't think I was ready for how big that one actually was. Like, it's just, you're thrown into it. It's like, boom, this Texas Frightmare, you got all these insane fucking guests in one place, so it's packed, and it's also Texas, and it's already fucking a lot of fucking people going.
Right.
And it was just intense, and I was going through a lot of shit at that time, like whenever that happened, so I wasn't really focused on the fun I was needing to have. It's kind of the same thing with Horror Hound, since I've been doing this stuff. So, but Horror Hound was a lot more fun than Texas. I really didn't enjoy
Chuck Norris kills innocent people to show off POWs.
I really didn't enjoy Texas much, but Horror Hound I did. But yeah, this year we'll be at the Westin. It's across the street, but that's where they'll have like other stuff. It's basically still a convention there, because they don't. This one officially definitely does not have a hotel attached to it, because I looked. So
the one in Indy. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
the closest thing is across the street, but it's like across the street's better than down the street. And that hotel is still a part of the convention, because I think they'll do what they do with the Westin in Cincinnati, where they'll have screenings and stuff in that hotel. So, and You Have Been Brought to Justice by Chuck Norris.
Yeah, and Joseph Zito.
Yeah, Joseph Zito.
Even looks like a horror logo. I gotta have a shirt with that on. It's amazing.
Yeah, I just blabbed about strippers and horror conventions.
That's a good thing, though.
That's what we're all about here at Phantasm. But now that the movie has come to a close, We're going to have John Tardy here.
Say good morning to you.
Give us the business. So, final thoughts. I mean, it's Chuck Norris. He's just lighting people up. Just fucking bullets ripping out of people's chests and shit. And it's just brutal. He's saving his fellow POWs. It's a movie about fucking America. Fucking Vietnam vet. If you like just 80s fucking Vietnam goodness and Chuck Norris, then you won't be disappointed. And look, stunt coordinator Aaron Norris right there. And J. Claude Van Damme credited right there as stuntman.
Did he credit him? Sweet.
Yep, J. Claude Van Damme. Right before Bloodsport.
Before I forget it.
So, yeah, this movie will not disappoint if you like the 80s, you like Vietnam movies from the 80s, and you like Chuck Norris. So, as long as those three categories suit your needs, then this is a movie you need to buy, and it's on Shout Factory.
I love it. Grew up with it. Rented it, like I said, on Betamax. Rented it on VHS. Had it on VHS and bought it on DVD. So now I've got it on Blu-ray. You know, how many times have I bought this movie? About 9 times.
I think this one you'll have probably the longest.
It's just really good. It's a good movie. I love it. Hope Paul digs it. Paul Ryan is coming your way. They just got done doing a big tour. They're currently about to go down to South America with Cryptopsy. So that'll be a good bill for everybody down there. Paul's a great guy. Super good friend of mine. Awesome guitar player. I love the new EP thing or record thing that he's done with the 2 EPs on. I think it's cool.
And Biogenesis. It's on Agonia.
Get it. Amazon's got it for like
coming
$10.
to existence.
You want to buy the vinyl? They've got all kinds of different cool versions of it through Agonia Records. You can get that online, or you can buy from the band on tour. Go up and tell them Dr. West sent you to Paul.
Yeah, Biogenesis are coming into existence. It's tracks, from what is 96 to 99. It's like the period before actual origin. It's Paul Ryan stuff. And it's amazing.
In the interview, he goes through all kinds of really cool stories. And look out for interview 1. This one you will be listening to after this. After Missing in Action will be interview part 2. After Paul's had some tequila that I bought him.
Yeah, so we got not only Missing in Action, we're talking about, we're talking about strippers and porn stars, and we're talking about horror conventions, but after all that discussion, Paul Ryan's going to be drinking tequila.
Yep. Enjoy. Paul, you listen to this, love you, dude. Hope everything's going well. Kick ass wherever you guys are touring at or whatever, and hope the record's doing well. Hope you guys enjoy the record. Hope you guys enjoy the interviews that I did. I think they're a lot of fun. I did them.
Yeah, shout out to the doctor for catching up with Paul and getting these to me finally, so we can get these up for you guys to hear. And,
enjoy.
Give the doctor some love on our page, definitely, and stay fucking gory and hail science.
This is Dr. Vincent West of the FANTASM Podcast. I'm here with my dear friend, interview number 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. We never know. We'll do this into infinity with my dear friend of the band Origin, their founder, Mr. Paul Ryan, the one and only. How are you, sir?
Doing great. Great to be in Nashville.
We're in Nashville. Yeah.
Nash.
We are here. And you have a new release, and it's called A Biogenesis, A Coming into Existence.
It's basically everybody loves a prequel. It's a prequel story to the band Origin. It's the origins of Origin. It's basically the 1998 EP coming into existence with the abiogenesis part is like songs that I wrote prior to the band Origin existing. So it's kind of just something. It's like the opening chapter to Origin. That it's like the book that maybe didn't make sense to everyone at first, and this gives a little ideology of the origins of Origin.
Precursor.
Yep.
So, and I wanted to ask you this real quick. So, are you guys still with Nuclear Blast? I noticed this was looks like a different record level.
So this is all with Agonia Records, which has done the European releases of Omnipresent and Unparalleled Universe. Basically, I didn't think Nuclear Blast might have had some interest in it, but I didn't feel comfortable with releasing material that was already, it's been released but never on a label. And Agonia basically has started as soon as Omnipresent was released. Omnipresent was, they were like, hey, what's going on with that EP? It's been out of print for 15 plus years. So, we want to put it out. You got anything extra? And I was like, well, it'd have to be done right, and, the timing would have to be right, and all that. And so I didn't really think much of it, but I had already started doing this thing. I was playing drums with some friends of mine, and they were playing. We had, music, and I was down there at the practice hall every day, 4 days a week, and just having fun jamming. I take practicing pretty seriously. It was definitely serious, but anyway, sometimes someone wouldn't show up and there was recording stuff there. And so I just, for the fun, I was like, well, man, I'll just start, I'll track these songs. So I tracked the drums, I want to say 2012, 2013, and added guitars to it. And it was basically, it sat around for quite some time, and then again Agonia 2015. They're like, hey, what's going on? We really. I was like, well, okay. Well, do you have anything extra? Because it's only 15 minutes coming into existence, and they kept pressing, and then so I was like, oh well, let me. I went to my parents' house and I have a closet full of Metal Maniacs and some Playboys and some old lyric sheets, on napkins.
Awesome.
And I had to piece them together and this song, So I started doing more and more to it and adding vocals to a couple songs, and then I was I found some old tapes of garage recordings of these songs, so I had to learn the solo on one of the songs, relearn the solo, and so I was they asked again, I was like, it doesn't feel right coming out at the same time as Unparalleled Universe, let some time pass. Tour off Unparalleled Universe, and then in 2019 it's it gives us a reason to tour. We can still collage that with Unparalleled Universe. It's something extra for the fans, and so I started really getting serious finishing up after Unparalleled Universe, and here we are, 2019. It came out May 3rd. We're a month in. The response has been pretty great. Some people,
I love it.
Some people love it. Some people hate it. We're just here to put out records so people have something to complain about.
So then the next thing are you all still with Nuclear Blast then, or is that? The
next thing will be America, Nuclear Blast, and Agonia. I believe the contract states that we're still have one more contractual obligation with both America distribution with Nuclear Blast and Agonia. Don't quote me on that, but since it's recording, you can quote me on that. So
okay, works. And then I'm going to do track by track with you if it's cool. We'll talk about the record.
Absolutely.
And then track 1 is Insanity. Talk about maybe. With each of these, if you want to just talk about where it came from and how you reconstructed it, or however you want to.
Okay. Insanity was from the band, my first real band that was playing extreme music. It's called Necrotomy, and we were a 3-piece. It was me, Drew Bray, and Dean Jones, and and later Mark Manning joined at the very end of that. So Insanity was the first song that I had written. It's influenced by Carcass, Deicide, the dual vocal thing, and the drums, a little bit of both, and then basically that was probably the craziest song on the album, and we did man, that song's insanity, man, that riff, oh man, that there. So we just, so it was just a joke, like working title, like Insanity. I was work on Insanity, and then I was like, let's just call it Insanity, and then so it stuck, and so that was our. I had a couple songs that were older that I didn't record, but that was the first song that we wrote together as the 3-piece, and later Mark Manning came in and added a low vocals to it as well.
Awesome. Do you care if we walk into the labyrinth here? So I'm picking up opening bands, kids. So for your listening pleasure, we take Paul into the labyrinth of Origin to continue our interview, which looks like a really interesting place to do an interview. It's very cool.
This is very cool.
It actually is really neat. All right, and then so that was literally the first song you all ever wrote as a band.
Yes, for Necronomy. Yes,
that's really cool. I did not know that. Great, it's a great song. So we're going to go right into track 2 is Mauled.
Okay, that comes from the band The Abomination, which was me, Mark Manning, and Jamie Serrano. Mark Manning came in and did vocals, and Jamie Serrano played drums, and I did guitar, and in the old days. So basically, just so everyone knows, I recreated these songs with, I played the guitar, bass, did the vocals, and did the drums. And there's only one other person I need to mention that played these songs. Well, I mean, I played these songs with a lot of these people, but there was, Necronomy was Dean Jones, Drew Bray, and me, and the Abomination was me, Mark Manning, and Jamie Serrano. And then later I started jamming with George Fluke, and then he kind of influenced he was the first drummer at Origin. He influenced some of the drumming parts. So what I did was combine the drumming of George Fluke, Jamie Serrano, and Drew Bray to the best of my ability, and kind of merge the best aspects of each one in. Now, there was other people I jammed this music with, Clinton Applehans. When I first jammed with John, I probably played Mauled once, But anyway, so Mauled was like the jam, like the hit, like the super catchy death metal song. And no, it's not about going to the mall and terrorizing customers, which we kind of did. We all went to the mall and looked at girls back in the day and drank alcohol and smoked pot and fucking bought our Deicide tapes and CDs, So no, it's not mauled like shopping mauled. It's mauled like, you got eaten by a beast of some sort and digested and shat out. So
we're gonna have to start a segment where you can just call in the podcast and be like, "You just got mauled by Paul Ryan." Well, I like it. I think it's really cool. Like when you told me that you'd went in and done what you did with the songs, and then when I bought it, I was like, "Wow, this is really cool." To get it gives the listener a different look into the Origin catalog too. I think too.
Well, it gives. Okay, so there is Origin is what it is today, but there was a beginning, and there's transformations and different sounds, and this is just another era of Origin that people can kind of take what they can from. Like death metal in 2019 is a lot different than death metal in 1985 or death metal in 1992,
sure.
Or even death metal in 1990 or death metal in 2008, or 5.
Sure.
There's different, sounds. I mean, there is different eras and generations of it, but so there's different sounds of Origin. So that was probably the song. We basically played in basements and storage sheds and house parties. Never played a show per se for real, like a club, jam halls and stuff like that.
But it's got to be fun for you revisiting the songs too.
It was interesting, and like I said, it's an opening chapter to my musical career, and it was something that I never released, and I felt the songs were good enough back then, on par with what was coming out at the time, and I believe, I'm not going to say that.
Oh, they are.
But you know what I mean?
I'll say they are.
They're classic, more of the classic era of death metal, and that's the sounds I was creating back then. Origin to me is still just death metal. It's when Origin came out, they didn't know what to call it. They're like, it's death metal, but it's not death metal like what you're used to hearing is different. So they start saying brutal death metal,
brutal technical death metal. I've even heard you call that.
Yeah, so they start putting these other names. To me, it's just death metal. But I understand that they had to call it something else. People say all these different things about me. Man, you're the fastest guitar player. You're the most technical guitar player. I'm like, I don't know about either of those things. I'll just say, I feel like I'm one of the most, I'll say, ferocious guitar players. We'll go with that. There's no ferocious level.
And he'll maul you.
Yeah, and you'll get mauled.
So track 3, Autopsy to Live.
Okay, Autopsy to Live, that was the first song that the Abomination ever jammed, and it's basically straight up your gore-themed. Same with Mauled. These songs are, Origin is a different entity in itself on the topics we use for lyrical themes. Well, I was back into, this is the early 90s, and, there was a lot of satanic stuff and gore and blood stuff.
Yep.
And so, I was right up there. Yes, Autopsy to Live, right down the Phantasm Podcast alley. It basically starts out with a skill saw, and basically the idea is like when you die, you think you're dead, but then you feel all the things and the horror inside. So basically that's it. Just straight to the point until your consciousness isn't even there because you've been autopsied alive.
It's great. It's one of the standout tracks for me. I was just like, I've listened to it several times. It's fucking awesome. It's great. And then track 4, Spastic Regurgitation.
Okay, that one. Oh man. Okay, so that one has a slower pace to it, and I had a hard time. I tried to recreate vocals. We always try to do the thing like a pitch shifter without a pitch shifter, and doing like snorkeling and like super guttural vocals.
Right.
And it was kind of a joke. Like sometimes when you're like something catches you off guard and and you get that little gastric juice that comes up. It's like, oh man, it tastes gross, like if you drink too much or gagged on something. So anyway, the lyrics, I couldn't even find all the lyrics, so I just kind of guessed at some of this stuff. Like I said, there was probably a little bit of vomit or spilled booze on this napkin I had with some pinned down lyrics. So I was just guessing on a lot of that stuff. It's got kind of a slower groove to it, and then it goes to a grind part, a lot of bass breaks and stuff. But it was probably like a groovy kind of Carcass kind of Symphonies era kind of feel to it. So
yeah, it's got a nice grind to it. Yeah, good song. And then we'll move on. Track 5, Bleed As Me.
Okay, that song. That's an interesting one. That was written. Oddly enough, the idea was, I went out with this girl back in high school, and unfortunately, she went through a horrible, traumatic life. Very beautiful person, and unfortunately, her life has not went to. Unfortunately, the world has gotten the best of her. I know that she's doing it not in a good place currently to this day, but she was such a beautiful person, and we were really good friends, and she had horrible atrocities done to her. And so basically that song was written. It's let's just say we'll say there was a ancestral type stuff going on that happened to her, and basically the idea was something of a revenge factor against the pedophile. So I don't know. It's kind of cryptic, and she was deep and enlightening in her darkness as she found different ways to. She made me think about words in different ways. So I kind of channeled that in the lyrics, and even some of the words were phrased by her. So and you can take it. Bleed As Me is kind of like ancestral rape, and so she lost her virginity in the worst possible scenario. And so the whole thing was it's kind of the eye for an eye,
Sure.
You rape me, I kill you kind of thing.
Sure.
So it's a dark subject. It makes me feel uncomfortable even talking about it.
Well,
that was probably the most closest connection that I had on the album, and a song that really kind of relates in a personal level. And so it's a little darker passage. It's a different type of song than I ever wrote in my entire discography. I think it's kind of cool. It's got a kind of crescendoing, dark opening, and it's a heavy, a deeper, darker kind of thing. So that's where I was at that time. That was in the early 90s, and I wish all the best to her. I know that things have not went well in her life.
Well, that's thank you for sharing. That's a lot of meaning behind that song. Track 6, Mind Asylum.
Okay, that's kind of that could be a personal song as well. Death metal is a positive release of negative energy for me, and that song was definitely the fastest song on the album. They actually did a video for it, and it came out brilliantly. It's just one of those things. It's like a pressure cooker, when everything's getting to you and the pressure keeps building and you're trapped inside your mind.
Yeah.
You can't get out of where your thoughts are, and you want, unfortunately nowadays, people are going around murdering people on live streams and stuff like that. Well, I was fortunate enough to have music, and I wrote Mind Asylum when I was in a dark place, and I didn't know what else to do to get rid of this inner aggression. So, I just went home and played guitar real fast and wrote down evil lyrics, and it made me feel better, and it definitely has one of those, unfortunately, kind of suicide killer kind of things, and when I explain this to people, I hope people listen to this song and don't go out and do stupid shit. And first of all, I kind of think these suicide killers are they're going to mosque and stuff like that, like in New Zealand. It's a heavily artilleried man going into a place where people are going to seek peace. And if you want to be a hard ass or be a badass and go in with guns and heavy ammunition, go somewhere where it's a fair fight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Mano to mano. You want to go in and
right.
Kill a bunch of go Terminator style. Go to the police force. Go walk in and go somewhere where they're armed as well. Don't go to a school,
right?
Or where
right.
I understand. I fought people. People are more afraid to fight people. They'd rather just shoot them, than shoot themselves or something. It's the weirdest shit.
It is weird.
You're
right though.
You get your ass kicked, you'll learn to fucking keep your mouth shut. You know what I mean? And so that's what my luckily I had music, and when I hope people that hear the song and maybe read the lyrics and see this, they understand. It's not, my mentality is, someone fucks you over, take it out equal force, you know what I mean? And if you're going to fight someone, man to man, weapons, combat, if you really feel that way, go against somebody, don't bring a gun to a tank fight, you know what I mean? But don't go,
right.
don't go into a place where people are trying to find peace. Where I find peace is going to a death metal show and having a good time. So I'd be, it's odd. I never hear of people going to a death metal show and shooting anybody. It's like everyone's there having a good time, having a couple drinks or smoking weed, or not even just enjoying the music, not even doing anything. So that's where my stand is. It's the craziest song. It's about releasing energy and aggression. So.
It's a great track, and again, I totally agree with you. I think the whole, the political stance people take with this stuff. It's the fucking thing up in Virginia and all. People are fucking crazy, man. What's weird, and I'm being honest about this, Paul. Every time I don't watch the news, so when I turn it on, it's always something like that, and I'm like, I'm never fucking watching it again. It's like every time I turn the motherfucker on, everybody's like, all you do is watch your fucking movies and shit. It's like, I'll just keep watching.
I heard Virginia, and I was like, wait a minute, didn't something happen in 2007 at Virginia Tech?
Yeah, it's just
again.
Now it's just commonplace. It's I don't even
Well, it's pretty bad. You just go away from it that far. I mean, I ain't turned the news on in 6-8 months. I turn it on there, that is. But anyway, Track 7, Infestation.
Okay, that's kind of my sci-fi thriller. Like, first of all, it's like a voivod meets Cryptic Slaughter meets Napalm Death. Like, you know, early Napalm Death kind of feel. So, and it's also my introduction into my sci-fi kind of sci-fi thriller. Like, it's basically like a parasitic thing that gets into your brain and kind of transforms you and, you know, takes over your mind and everything. And you know, basically an infestation where it takes over your whole, you know, it obviously some kind of sci-fi and sexual kind of thing where it kind of gets inside you. Think of like Star Trek 2 where it goes in the thing and kind of eats away your brain.
Yeah.
Then it takes over your body and it's basically you become a human insect to consume on others. So, you know,
nice.
That's kind of the thought behind it.
That's awesome.
Lyrically, and like I said, it's influenced by like killing technology or a voivod, you know, enslavement through obliteration or mentally murdered like era napalm and like Cryptic Slaughter, convictedness, money talks kind of era breakdown at the end, and then it had like it was kind of like always got in that double bass thing, and you know, and that's very common now, but it wasn't that common back then. So.
No, definitely not. It's a killer track. Track 8, Murderer.
Okay, that one is another one where basically it's one of those things, kind of like Mind Asylum. I was in a dark place, and music is, you know, it's about, you know, one of those things that you go out, you know, kind of the same thing. It's like, that's why I went to school with a guy that actually killed a guy, and this is the end of the kind of, for me, the more like blood and guts, because my friend killed someone. He's still in prison, and he, you know, he did, you know, all the Cannibal Corpse stuff, and you know, did some horrible atrocities, and unfortunately he's still in prison. The guy did him wrong, and he killed him, you know what I mean? So
wow.
The first sample is from The Unforgiven, which is Clint Eastwood, you know.
Great movie.
And then the end is Bill Paxton from Aliens, you know what I mean? Almost those samples were kind of, you know, even in the mindset back then of using, you know, so I wanted to keep it in that era of that music that was being written. And you know, Bill Paxton, I can't believe he passed away, but I love Bill Paxton. So, you know, he was in Terminators. He was in
fucking Near Dark. Do you like that?
Near Dark, that's one of the best vampire movies of all time.
And then, of course, Weird Science. Oh, I like your panties.
Shit. How about a greasy pork sandwich
served
in a dirty ashtray?
My favorite part is he walks in, I like your panties when he's there. Yeah. And he, you know, something that I watched him in, God, what did I watch? Oh, Tombstone. He's fucking, I mean, that movie for a fucking West. I don't know if you dig that.
Yeah, I love it.
It's so fucking good. He's great. So he's great, yeah.
Bill Paxton.
Rest in peace, Bill Paxton. Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, great side with that as well. It's fucking awesome. So, and then track 9, Lethal Manipulation, The Bone Crusher Chronicles.
Okay, so that is the first official Origin song, and it started around 1993. George Fluke who played in other bands. Excessive Strain mainly was the band that I was totally influenced a lot of the Origin sound. Contacted me and said, yeah, man, I got something that I can play blast beat as fast as you play now. And I was like, what the frick, you know, that just doesn't make sense because there's the motion of two things on a guitar pick going back and forth. And so anyway, he came up to me and he's like, bring your fastest riff, and I got a drum beat for it, and the snare will match your picking arm. And I was like, that's unfathomable. And you know what I mean? And so anyway, he showed up and he did this thing. And the one-handed roll, which later was called the Gravity Blast and everything. He went to Dennis Chambers' seminar, and Dennis Chambers is a fantastic fusion-type jazz, progressive, I don't even know what you call it, drummer.
Okay.
And he was doing these tom fills. He was holding his beat and doing this beat where he was doing these, in a different conceptual form of what he was using for what Origin used it for. He was doing like a beat, like a kind of like a 6/8 with a samba, and then he would do these tom fills like, and he was doing the tom fill with one hand.
Awesome.
And there was a seminar, and George was like, "Hey, hi, what did you do right there?" And so he automatically applied it to a death metal kind of stance, and they put a double bass underneath it. The rest is history. So that was the first. So I went there, and I was just blown away. And that was the first riff I actually jammed with George. And like I said, the drumming is based off 3 different drummers, and the drumming is more beefed up towards like the later mid-90s, where right prior to Origin and stuff. So like I said, it's a combination of 3. But Lethal Manipulation was like the first song that I jammed with George, and technically the first song I ever wrote, for Origin.
So that's the first Origin song.
Yeah, it is the first. It was on the Coming Into It CP, and if you notice, the vocals or the lyrics are kind of about like fighting and all that stuff. And Mark, who was I haven't been in communication with him, but he did fight MMA, and he was a very aggressive, attacking individual and like to fight and kick ass. I mean, I seen him. He would practice fighting all the time. He'd practice fight all of us. You know what I mean? Come on over so I can fight. like 10 dudes in one day, just to train. And he's like he's up in Oregon. I want to say he was fighting for Megaton Gracie.
Good Lord!
Correct me if I'm wrong. He's like a black belt. It's like I don't know. So I don't know, but anyway.
Original Origin drummers, Chuck Norris, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, the original vocalist. He also was in Abomination Necronomy, but so that song was lyrically written about fighting, and now I was like, okay, this is the first and last time that we will talk in that mindset, because I was trying to turn the page from, remember what I said about Murderer and Mind.
Sure,
so I was trying to, that'll give our brutal death metal introduction to the, because the song comes out of the gate like a fucking ass beat, you know what I mean? So it's got like that old school kind of Living Creation vibe and groove into it. So that was the first official Origin song.
It's fucking awesome, and of course, to have the history behind it.
Okay, and so let me explain this real quick. This was Mark Manning on vocals, myself on guitar and backing vocals, Jeremy Turner on guitar and backing vocals, Clinton Applehands, who played bass on Coming Into Existence, later played guitar on Echoes of Decimation, and George Fluke on drums. And Jeremy had played on multiple Origin albums, and also played in Cannibal Corpse, replacing Jack Owen for some time, and currently plays bass in Unmerciful, where Clinton Applehands is now the guitar player. Well, he was always a guitar player.
Wow, I didn't know they were in that. That's cool.
Yeah, so Unmerciful. Also, just a side note, they're coming out with it. We're in that studio right now, so those are my bros, and I'm really happy for them. They also helped. I couldn't get Origin formed without those guys. There was a lot of problems, a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, and a lot of things that sidetracked music that I couldn't get a band just to get in the studio and record. So without those guys coming together with me, Origin would have never formed. And so, I wish all the best. Whether Mark's in fighting, George is like a teacher and he works for the state in Kansas, and Jeremy is a welder and he plays bass for Unmerciful. He still plays guitar too, and Clinton has a t-shirt printing press, a whole shebang of stuff, and he plays guitar in Unmerciful. So they're recording their third album right now, so check that out as well. Okay, so anyway, I just want to make sure I explain it.
No, it's awesome.
That is the EP from 1998 where Rob Rebeck recorded us in Mercy Studios, and these songs here have been remastered to make it sound more modern.
Gotcha. And then, so track 10, Sociocide, is that still...
That is, for the rest of the album, it will be Mark Manning, Jeremy Turner, Paul Ryan, Clinton Applehands, and George Fluke. Sociocide is basically a play on words. Mark did a lot of that stuff. Is about the downfall of society, and now, like I said, the changing of the lyrical structure or whatever.
Sure.
That song was primarily written by Mark Jeremy, and Clinton, and arranged by them. That was kind of their contribution as a band together. It's the first time the three of them have worked together officially and wrote a song. I jammed with Clinton before. I jammed with Jeremy up until this point, but I primarily wrote most of Lethal, I pretty much wrote the whole thing and arranged it and everything with George, and Mark Manning came in and wrote the lyrics and lyrical pattern, where Jeremy and Clinton arranged it, and the drumming and the composition, and Mark wrote the lyrics over it.
Awesome.
Social side.
God, another great track. And then track 11, Manimal Instincts.
Again, Mark, the beast within, the aggressor, the angry guy, so... he did a lot of play of words. Manimal Instincts. I wrote the song and composed it with George on drums, and then Mark wrote the lyrics, and it's more about the beast within, and the beast within all of us. He's like an aggressive guy. He's an animal. So I was like, okay. So we strayed away from the fighting, but it's still about the animal within all of us. So, super aggressive song. It probably was the song that, at the time, when we started playing live, people were really grasping on that. That was the one that they called out the most in the early first era.
Really?
Of Origin, yes.
Cool. It's brutal. I mean, it's
all attacking, real staccato. That was the thing. We were doing different. I think we had a different sound than most of the bands in '98. You have to remember that. Okay, so the way, like the abiogenesis part, there's a guitar solo, there's a riff harp at the end of Murderer. In the mid to late '90s, everything was bottom heavy. Everyone was into new metal, and then Machuga came out, and everything's down, on the lower string. And there wasn't that many guitar solos, so I went with a more staccato, attacking drum and lower attack, and give some groove to it and some different kind of rhythms to kind of create our own sound in Origin. And so the Coming Into Existence / Origin self-title had that kind of feel, and that was that era of writing. Like Abiogenesis is a different era.
Right.
Coming Into Existence and Origin is a different era. And Formless was a different era. And then Echoes, I started to change different sounds. So Abiogenesis complements a different kind of songwriting style to the Origin discography.
Gotcha. And it definitely does. And then track 12, the last track, Inner Reflections, The Pain From Within.
Again, I wrote that song compositionally with George and Fluke, the drummer, and then Mark wrote the lyrics. I think it has to deal. I think a lot of. I'll just state this in a general stated form because I'm not exactly sure, but let's just say that I think this is another one kind of like physical abuse towards when you're growing up, and so it's brought what do they say, like father like son, we gotta break the chain of if dad beats the kid then beats their child, you know what I mean? So
right.
It's just one of those things where hatred is brought upon a child in maybe not in ancestral way, but like a physical abuse or mental abuse as a child, and basically it just is the thing of abuse, and then kind of it grows into something else. That's what I take from it. I didn't write the lyrics, but that's what I got from it. And the last final part with the outro after the growls was he says conform to no one, and that's just kind of our statement back then. We were told on our first show that we only had 15 minutes and we could only play 4 songs, and we thought it would be an excellent way to kind of stick our middle finger out. Because when the song ended, then Mark started growling. They thought the set was over, and Mark did 4 large growls, and then George went into psychotic drum beat, and he would just say conform to no one, and George just runs the the drums out till the end. But it was just to scare the other bands. It was our first show, and everyone knew we could jam and all that, and scare like, well, they're going to go over their set time. So we kind of did this thing where it made it sound like we were going into another song, and it was just a little like, oh, fuck you, we're just.
That's brilliant. So y'all just drew that out, and he just conformed to no one, and he's growling it.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Abiogenesis, ladies and gentlemen, with Paul Ryan, coming into existence, is available now, and you can get it physically like I did, and it's really cool. You can get the vinyl, yes.
Yeah.
Special CD I saw on your Facebook, which was not... when I bought the CD, it's just like a jewel case. But
yeah, you can buy all kinds of different formats. So that's one thing about Agonia. They are based in Poland, and it is expensive, but they're quality. I mean, like, the thing is, on Nuclear Blast, I'll just say this, they have Slayer, they have Testament, they have Death Angel, they have all these classic bands, Exodus, Creator, I mean, and not saying we're the smallest fish in the pond, but those are big name bands, and like, you know, Slayer's playing arenas, we're playing, you know, we were just on tour with Deicide, and there was some really great turnouts, but, you know, in the grand scheme of things, death metal is still, you know,
right
in this area. Well, in Agonia, like on the Agonia side, we're like, you know, big dogs, you know, but in Nuclear Blast, we're a little smaller. So some of the quality, there's nothing wrong with the quality of the Nuclear Blast stuff. It's just that the Agonia puts so much
love into the packaging,
creativity, and so it's very nice. And, you know, the thing is, I hate to say it, like we're the big dogs on Agonia, but everything I've seen on Agonia that they've ever put out is super high quality. So that's all I can say. It is a very quality product, and they've treated us very kind. And like I said, they kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and it's nice to. They were really worried about it, but I was like, I think Origin fans will appreciate this, you know, because I was like, I was a little nervous about it, but I was also like, I think it complements the discography entirely.
It does,
and helps people understand maybe the different eras and
definitely
of Origin. So, and,
definitely,
you know, where death metal was then to where it is now in the concept of how I wrote. So,
which is fun, and I mean, I think it would be cool if Argonia could maybe put out some of your old Relapse stuff. Maybe if y'all.
Well, you might be on something there.
That would be really fucking cool, because that stuff, man, what were we listening to last from Origin? Do you remember? I think we were listening to Entity.
Okay, well, that is Nuclear Blast.
It is, but I'm going somewhere with. Okay. I'm doing a rewind on you. I love my version of that because I've got the one that's got the DVD with it.
Okay.
Which I think is fucking cool as shit that they did it, because you never saw that in the store. Like I had to get that like from them.
Yeah.
But I still thought that was cool. But then we were listening to.
Well, Echoes of Decimation and Antithesis had some bonus stuff out.
What was the last?
Last Relapse one was okay. So it goes. If you wanted to go chronologically, even though Abiogenesis is the newest thing, it's Abiogenesis, Coming Into Existence, Origin, Informus Infinitus Inhumanitas, Echoes of Decimation, Antithesis, Entity, Omnipresent, Unparalleled Universe. Man, say that fast.
That's awesome. So that's the one we were listening. Okay. The last one you did with
Relapse.
Yeah. Wow, that fucking thing is fucking. The vocals, I want to just say for a second on that record, are fucking raunchy.
Yeah, that's like, James Lee's last album with us. He did Informus,
Jesus, that record's raunchy.
Echoes of Decimation, and Antithesis.
We were just what was guys talking about, because we were really tired and we were driving. I was like, God damn, like the vocals on this are fucking. But it's I mean, yeah. So if that happens, that would be really cool. If there's some special, different Relapse redone with your friends in Poland.
I will say this: I don't know exactly what they can do additional, but some of those albums were never released on vinyl, and some were in a limited quantity, and people are going crazy over them. Let's just say that maybe at the end of this year, somehow, some label that's been mentioned before might be releasing some albums that have never been released before on vinyl, and or are out of print on vinyl. So,
which would be awesome. Which would be really cool for Origin fans. And
I just want to.
If the cosmos comes together,
you could put it together if you sit there and connect the dots of the stars, like
with the star map, and you can figure out.
You can figure it all out right here on the FANTASM Podcast first. With the Paul Ryan, he will tell you as he is our master of the universe. But so, what else this year for Origin? Okay.
Tours, fun stuff.
Okay, so we are. Oh man, gosh darn it! I can't think of the. Let me cheat here. I will say this.
If you can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk. I'll say we haven't done that much this year. We had a pretty busy last year. We went to Europe twice. We did a tour with Morbid Angel.
How did that go?
The tour with Morbid Angel was good. And then we did a Japan.
See, I wanted to see that y'all were. We never got down south.
We did a Japan tour with oh my gosh. Hold on, multitasking here.
It's cool. It's no rush.
I can't believe I just said that. We did a Japan tour.
Japan must have been fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was with.
Now, had you played there before?
Yes, fortunately I had. Gosh darn it! I can't. Man, my brain is mush right now. I'm trying to piece together all the dots of all the tours I do. I'm 120 tours in, people. So.
You are. We're good. We can edit this. That's what we have. Special tools. No, but Japan's got to be fucking cool, man. Japan just looks cool.
It's unusual. It's beautiful. It's different. It's difficult. It's unbelievably technologically advanced. So it is really awesome. Okay, so references here of it. Okay, The Crown. I can't believe it. We did a.
That's all. That band's great.
We did a support. Okay, we did it with The Crown and Primitive and Descent, and it was a great. Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya. It was a great time. That was last year, and then we did this thing called the Manitoba Metal Fest, and we played with Into Eternity and Gorgatron. This was this year. That was the first thing we did this year, and then we just did a phenomenal tour with the Absence, Jungle Rot, Origin, and Deicide across North America, man. And Deicide, oh my goodness, Glenn Benton for president, Steve Sheed, man, those guys are great. That one had to be one of the best tours we ever did, and professional and fun. I've heard things on the internets, about Deicide, and I was like, oh man, bands and arguing maybe in the past. And man, all I can say is, man, it was awesome. The crowd response was great. Super happy to have been a part of that. Deicide was one of my earliest influences.
They're amazing.
It was so good.
I never knew Steve wrote all that shit.
Man, he plays guitar, he plays drums, super awesome. So the next thing that happens after this is the Armstrong Metal Fest in British Columbia, Canada, and it's kind of a outdoor kind of. I hear weird things like there was a car smashing contest with a sledgehammer. I don't know this to be true yet, but that's what I've heard. So that's Armstrong Metal Fest in July, and then now I'm going to say this: it has been announced. We've had 5 or 6 tours that are so close to happening to going to South America, and it's never happened before. We're co-headlining with Critopsy in South America, from Mexico all the way down to Brazil. I mean, probably 10 plus countries. So that's in November. So that's a first for me.
Well, congratulations! It's awesome.
After 6 times, so that's the only thing that we have on the calendar per se. I mean, there's always propositions and stuff, but to me, I'm personally good with that. I mean, Deicide mentioned doing tours again because it went so well and we worked so well together. Jungle Rot and the Absence were great. It was a great tour package. Who knows? What a great tour.
So that tour's wrapped up. You all wrapped that up last night.
Yeah, tonight we're in Nashville. headlining and playing tonight, and Louisville headlining, and then we're done until July for that Armstrong Metal Fest.
That's awesome. And a fun side note, I remember when you were in Europe, I accidentally had texted you, and you're like, dude, I'll text you when I get stateside. That text just probably cost Paul $100 for a day.
It's not that bad. It's gotten better, but yeah, it's like, get hold of me and get me when it's weird. Like I can get Wi-Fi, and then if I don't get the Wi-Fi, I don't even know. It's
my apologies for that. Never know.
I left it on. I leave my phone on over there for a reason, in case I need to know something's going on. So
didn't need to know from West though that he's in Europe. It's just like, dude, talk to you stateside. Yeah, but no, that's great. And the South America thing, I'm sure is going to be amazing too.
Yeah, so it's 2 weeks that I've never been there. I mean, we've done Mexico and Puerto Rico, but I mean, we do Panama, we do Chile, we do Colombia, we do Venezuela. I don't want to make a mistake and say the wrong thing here. Oh shit. We're about ready to play, so
well. There, we're gonna wrap that up here. Always a pleasure, sir.
Yeah,
you're my dear friend, and it's so good to see you. And
thank you guys for the continued success with the Phantasm Podcast, and thank you so much.
We've got all this France audience now in Spotify, so like it's gotten like really like we're on Spotify, so that's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
and
Japan. That's the other audience we've gotten opened up through Spotify. So France and Japan. So thank you for
both those countries. Very supportive of the Origin.
Amen.
And Hellfest is probably one of the best festivals on the planet. It's the biggest, coolest thing I've ever done. We played with Slayer, Motorhead, Meshuggah, Morbid Angel, Obituary, Forbidden, At the Gates. I can't even. That was just the bands I can remember playing that day. So.
Oh, sure, it's always crazy.
Yeah, so. Anyway, I guess I have to go play a show.
I'm going to go watch him play the show. So we're done here, Phantasm, our Paul Ryan episode 4 or 5 or 6 into infinity. We'll keep doing them with this gentleman because he's the best.
We got to get some gore talk in there.
He's
we didn't get in there about a horror movie.
Yeah, we didn't. So
but
we'll do it next time.
We might have to do. Who knows? Maybe we can try that later. We'll see what happens here.
Cool.
Maybe I'll get it.
We're back again. This is part 2, which
after show party.
Right, I'm marking it so I know we can use technology to smush it together.
Gotcha.
With my friend Paul Ryan, founder of Origin, guitar player extraordinaire, guitar virtuoso master of death metal and metal. We're here with him. We're going to talk horror movies as he enjoys some alcoholic beverages. Have you watched anything new lately?
I have not. I have really not been around TV in the last 6 months.
I will recommend a new, because I don't watch a lot of newer horror movies. It's not new of things that I watched. God, what is it called? Because now the guy's doing like another movie, and I don't have my compadre here.
I will say
Hereditary.
I have heard about that.
It is fucked up. And the guy has like another movie coming out this fall that's supposed to be even more fucked up. They're not related, not like a sequel or a prequel or anything, but it's, so Hereditary.
Okay. I actually have heard that one. I have not. I've kind of been out of loop of TV and stuff due to personal reasons, but
of course,
Hereditary, and I want to say it's called Mandy.
Mandy with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah,
it's great.
Okay, so a lot of people talk a lot of movies about Nicolas Cage, but I am still a Wild at Heart guy. I think that's a very underrated movie.
I'm a Valley Girl guy. Is that weird?
That's okay, but I mean that is oh my goodness, the guy who did Eraserhead,
David Lynch.
That's a David Lynch movie that no one talks about, And this is brutal as anything. It's crazy as anything.
It's great.
It's got the Wizard of Oz thing. It's got Willem Dafoe. It's got Laura Dern. It's got Nicholas. They have Power Man on there. Okay, so anyway, they're like, this is the most epic performance. I'm like, well, I don't know. I still have a soft spot in my heart for Wild at Heart. So I need to see that one. So that's where I'm at on need to see.
What do you have a favorite David Lynch movie? Talking about David Lynch.
Man, I mean, I really do like Wild at Heart.
Blue Velvet is my favorite. I know that's really generic, but
I mean,
Dennis Hopper in that movie, dude.
Dennis Hopper, fellow Kansan.
He's fucking so goddamn awesome in that movie.
That's a great one. I mean, I love.
How you doing, Frank? I'm doing good. I'm doing real fucking good. That whole fucking scene.
I love Dennis Hopper. He's fellow Kansan. The first movie that I remember that I fell in love with Dennis Hopper was River's Edge, which had the Slayer soundtrack with Hallows Eve.
So
and
good.
All that stuff.
Crispin Glover's great in that movie too.
I mean, man, it's not about you. Yeah. So yeah, I grew up.
Keanu Reeves. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Well, what do you think about her death? It's really tragic. By the way, I play guitar. So
that's a River's Edge.
That's not a David Lynch movie, but
still good movie.
That's my first experience with Dennis Hopper, and then I saw Blue Velvet with Dennis Hopper. So that's my connection there to explain to the outside world what's going on, why these things are being mentioned.
It's fun stuff. I love Blue Velvet. I think I like Dune. A lot of people don't like Dune.
I like Dune. I mean, like, here's the thing. I was too young to understand it in the movie theater.
Same here.
Okay?
Same here. Way too.
It was way over the top. Didn't understand it. It made me feel uneasy. I know my dad did not like it.
Like a lot of people didn't understand
He was more Louis L'Amour, Clint Eastwood, kind of, Western kind of guy, so I was a little off, Star Wars, maybe he got through. E.T., maybe Empire, he got through. Close Encounters is maybe iffy, but, Jaws made sense, the Pale Rider, different things made sense. But like my dad would take me to Flash Gordon, stuff like that.
Fucking love that movie.
Yeah, so soundtrack was great. So, all right, but we were at David Lynch, and then we went way off. But anyway, new horror movie that I've seen, I go back to the classics. I think I've mentioned this before. I'm a sci-fi horror thriller, not the slash and gash so much.
I love the sci-fi.
But I always go back to Hellraiser. That movie terrified me.
It's great.
This guy, I think I said this on a podcast before. This guy, I mean, I always go back to it. That always gets me. This guy that I went to school with, his name was Andreas. He was kind of a quiet kid. Nobody knew much about him. I won't say. There was some unique things about the guy.
Right.
People gave him a hard time about stuff. And anyway, I talked to him every once in a while, and super cool guy. And he said, he's like, I went to this movie last night, and it was more than anything I've ever seen on Fangoria. And I was like, oh, man, what? No, impossible, no way. And he's like, yo, you never seen anything like Hellraiser. And I was like, it can't be more than, like Nightmare on Elm Street, I mean, I still like the first one, and I think 1 through 3 I can still deal with.
Oh, all those are great.
I know we went through Friday the 13th before, but
part 2, you love it.
Yeah, I love 2. I like part 5.
You love the kill in 5 though, with the shears.
5. Oh man, I had
tits,
a
and
crush
then
on
the
that girl. I had a crush on that girl. I mean, so, but I still go back to Hellraiser. I still go back. Okay, so there is that. I did watch, which is probably the most gory sci-fi movie that I can think of still. And I remember seeing it at the theater, and Event Horizon is
Dude,
still,
you literally just read my mind. I was about to say, I bet you love Event Horizon.
it's still the goriest sci-fi movie, I think. Right? Maybe? I think...
I mean, you get into alien stuff. I guess people would say.
Well,
those,
okay.
Do you do you have a preference of that? Obviously, you like part 2. I know because you mentioned
Everyone
earlier
loves
that
Alien.
But the first one I thought was, that's a great.
Okay, so.
Oh wow!
Whoa, the first one is causing problems everywhere.
We're
You can't take me anywhere.
Causing problems and doing stuff. Got the fire department out doing stuff tonight. So Nashville Fire Department driving by, say hi to us, making sure the origin fire is out, and it's not.
So Alien, when it first came out, I was maybe a little too young to understand some of the conceptual things. I felt scared.
You liked it though.
I liked it, but I was a little young still. It's kind of like Shining. It didn't comprehend yet. It made me feel uncomfortable, but I didn't understand that.
Sure, exactly.
Aliens, I was a teenager, I think, pretty sure, 85, 86. I was a young teenager.
Yep.
And so I was definitely and a lot more action. I did enjoy Alien 3. I want to say Alien Resurrection, I don't know so much about. That was the one with
Winona Ryder, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Weird, Joss Whedon did the screenplay for that one too, which is the Buffy the Vampire Slayer guy.
Yeah. I still question that.
It's not a very good movie.
But let's see, Alien. I mean, I still.
Did you like Prometheus?
It left too many questions. There was parts of it.
Did you like Alien Covenant?
I didn't even go see it.
It's the sequel to Prometheus.
Yeah.
I mean, it's worth it's weird. They get into the whole Wayland thing, the Wayland Industry guy, and he's in it.
I had that shirt for a while.
That's fucking cool.
On $6tees.com. $6 tees, you got okay, anyway.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, but you should watch it. I'm not saying it's great, but it's not horrible. If you watch them together, they make more sense, because Prometheus makes no sense if you just watch it by itself, but yeah.
I will say this, that
you like sci-fi.
Yeah, well, I like Species a lot.
Oh yeah, those are good. The second one I thought was brutal.
Yeah, Natasha Henstridge. I could watch her all day. Still
good stuff.
But I do like the storyline, and it was close enough, and it had enough stuff going on. See, here's the thing. I myself, that's too much. But I also can laugh at some of the comical stuff about the overkill of the murder scenes. You know what I mean? I'm still more of the old school, like the 80s and the 90s, like the
Same
modern
here.
days. The
Same
modern
here.
day is still, they're trying to overdo everything, and I think I agree. Missing some of that plot buildup. We gotta have it now. We need it now, and I like it. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's plenty of 80s overkill.
Oh, there is, but one of my favorite slashers. If you've ever seen, have you ever seen Maniac?
I want to say yes.
Joe Spinelli. He's wearing like a ski mask. He goes around and kills chicks. Right? Early 80s. It's like 81.
That was probably in the Bizarro section at the local.
It's a gemstone that you should.
Okay.
I think it could inspire.
You're going to send me a screenshot of the IMDb.
I actually can do that.
At the link.
Yeah, I can do that. It's worth. It's. We got to see it theatrically last year. They had it at this horror convention. We got to see it. I mean, it's awesome watching that movie. Tom Savini did the makeup in it, but it's literally just a dude going around just fucking killing women in it, and eventually the women end up killing him.
Well, let's speak about this real quick. So I'm going to be honest. I was awesomely invited to play with Origin at the House Horror Fest.
Phil's thing, that's cool.
And, it's... Okay, back when I started playing shows and when Origin's beginnings, there was a lot of wrestling and metal, at the Metal Fest. There was porn stars and Metal Fest. There was gross out contest at Metal Fest, and another thing was the slasher horror type thing. And I see why these things go hand in hand. Did you ever see that Incantation, the band Incantation? They did that, or like it was a backstage. I can't think of the name of it right now. Gosh darn it! But anyway, we'll figure this out and look this up, people. Incantation did it was like backstage brutality or something. That's not the title of it, but it was Incantation playing, and then it was like these girls go backstage and party with Incantation, and
and then John kills him.
Okay, so I don't know. John McEntee kills it. I'm sorry.
We've had him on. He won't care.
I've cracked open a couple here, and I haven't drank for at least a week, and I have not partied like this in a couple weeks. So it's the end of the tour for me. So forgive me, but there is. I had the thing on my wall for the longest time, and then it was at the point where it's shoulder level, where everyone knocked out the little pin that held it in, and it just got ripped. So I can't remember the name of it right now, but it's like. Backstage Massacre or something. And
that's awesome. I'm going to have to find out what that is.
Playing, and then hot babes, and maybe doing promiscuous things in the backstage area, and then maybe it's John McEntee. I don't know. Maybe he had a bad sound check, and he decided to do evil things backstage. I don't know. We'll see. Check it out. Look it up. I feel so bad for not knowing the name of it. But yeah,
that sounds awesome. Though
it is awesome. It's
probably on YouTube.
Maybe, but there was saw Beelzebub from Grimoire of Exalted Deeds on the DSI tour, and we actually obtained one of his VHS tapes. Again, I don't remember the title, but we have it in the van, and there's girls of the cloth with very little cloth, exposing a lot of skin, and there's blood and all that stuff. So,
anyway. It's Phantasm stuff.
So, well, yeah. Hey, we are on Phantasm Podcast,
so we got to do the horror thing. But yeah, I'm gonna have to find the Incantation thing now. That sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I would have totally. I feel bad. I interviewed him a few years ago, and I never knew about that to ask him about. Although he was all about talking about horror movies.
Yeah,
so is Jeff from Possessed. I've interviewed Jeff from Possessed recently, and he wanted to fucking.
Both those bands have put out great albums.
Dude, that new album. Have you listened to it?
I haven't heard the whole thing. The newest Incantation, the newest Possessed. Okay, so Incantation has a huge discography, and I have Mortal to Nazareth. Oh man, it's so difficult. I don't even know which to. Okay, so I don't even know which one to choose. Diabolical Conquest. Which one do I pick? But the newest Incantation, super good.
It is. It's great.
And the new Possessed. I've only heard 3 tracks on it. Okay, we've been on tour, and it's we were playing it. We're driving. It's good. Oh man, this is really good. But you can't. When you're driving, you're always going 85 miles. There's this wisp, when you're driving all the time. So it's kind of like a natural black metal sound to the
with the record.
To the record. So as much as they are one of the originators of the darkest sounds in metal in the early 80s, I wanted to hear it wispy, you know what I mean? So what I've heard is fantastic. I'm really happy. I have Possessed was one of the first 5. It is Slayer, Celtic Frost, Possessed, Creator, Voivod. Those were my first 5 whatever you call tapes, whatever style you want to call those. That's where it all began.
Well, you're in great. Corey just interviewed Tom Warrior 2 weeks ago.
Wow!
So we had him on.
That is a legend. That is
we did, and I interviewed Jeff.
Those are both legends, man. So
And forgive me, I cannot think of his name. We had the vocalist for Cancer on, too.
Oh, gosh. I saw them with Deicide 92 with Demolition Hammer, but I can't.
Their newest record is fabulous.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know they put out a new record. So.
They put it out last year. Yeah, it's really good.
Oh, man.
They signed with Peaceville.
Okay.
And then Peaceville's about to reissue all their stuff because all their shit's out of print.
I had Still Like Time. Whatever that album is, with Obituary and then James Murphy playing guitar.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Oh, the second album. That album's fucking fantastic. I can't think of the name of
it. Too much input at
It
once.
is.
But it's good. This makes it interesting.
But the interview with him, I'll have to send you and let you listen to it when we get it up. He went on a whole thing, kind of like what we did earlier, or you were talking about earlier about the people going into these mosques or churches, or where he went into a whole fucking thing about that. Like it's brilliant. But so you guys are on like the same wavelength apparently.
Well, he's I remember he's from the UK. He seemed pretty intellectual when I saw him. Yeah, I was like, whoa, look at we're very British.
Oh yeah.
But
the record's fucking raunchy.
I didn't even know they put out a new one. So.
It's worth listening to. It's seriously, I was blown away. I was like, Jesus, because they haven't had a record in like, oh god, since like 2002 or something.
Yeah, I only know 3 records by them, I think.
So it was kind of like in between that stuff. But anyway, but yeah, and he's a huge horror fan, which was fucking funny. He was talking about Dead Alive, and I was just like,
I kick ass for the Lord.
Pretty good stuff.
Dead Alive, man. That was the lawnmower scene. Whoa, that was next level.
It's great.
Cheers to that, 1800 style.
Oh yeah.
Well, here we go. And now this is the second half of the interview, and like Paul does not have to drive tonight,
which is good.
So we're on to the greater planes of this podcast. I will just say I'm honored to be the recipient of the first person, I think, to achieve the 4th podcast.
Oh, you are. You are.
It means I'm just repeatedly busy.
You're amazing to interview, and we always have fun talking about stuff, and it's fun, and people like to listen to it. The last few have got a shitload of hits. So
yeah,
I like doing it. Let us know what you have to say.
Well, you get both sides on the Phantasm Podcast. you get the pre-show and the after show.
You get both. You get it all.
So this is another level of the side that most people don't get to see. So
another movie I was going to recommend to you.
Please do.
The new Halloween movie.
The new Halloween? Oh, with Jamie Curtis?
Yeah.
Really?
Now let me tell you about this. So I didn't want to fucking see it. Blumhouse did it. They do those movies like the Get Out thing and Them and all that stuff.
I saw Get Out. I don't know if I saw Them.
Or Us. I think it's called Us. That's it.
I haven't seen
Us.
Them.
And it's not bad, but they're more like more. So we watched the Halloween. I fucking loved it. And the weirdest thing about Danny McBride is who wrote the fucking thing, the comedian.
Okay, well,
he's apparently a huge Halloween fan, and he did a really good job. The movie is brutal. The kills in it are raunchy. You should definitely give it a shot.
Okay. Well,
if any of them have like HBO on demand, it's on there right now.
That one, I'm gonna wait till the fall.
Okay.
Because I feel like that is the most appropriate time.
I think you might like it. I was really impressed with it.
I think, I don't have, I have an open schedule right now for this and that, but I gotta kind of go back to the grind on different things, but I feel like the best time to watch that movie will be in the fall.
I think you'll enjoy it. I was pleasantly surprised. I thought it was going to be... It's brutal, and they don't pull any punches with it. It's very old school. I
watched Jamie Lee Curtis on Jimmy Kimmel talk about it, and it did make me excited about it. I was like, she is like, this is the real deal. This is, we're not just...
The way she is in it is just, it's badass. I mean, I love what they did with
badass,
it.
So
and they shot it in like North or South Carolina too.
Yeah,
and they had Nick Castle, the original Michael Myers, show up and do a couple scenes dressed up in the stuff. just some scenes where he'd be like standing there looking or something and all that. So that was cool because he's like fucking 80.
Now,
years old.
can I say this? I heard John Carpenter was not really into these zombie ones because he didn't like Michael Myers being too powerful.
Yeah. He went. There's a YouTube clip. People listening, you can look this up. Just put Rob Zombie, John Carpenter, and he basically cusses the dude out and tells him he's fucking an idiot, basically. And it's like, and then later tried to kind of backpedal, but a fan asked him something about it, and I guess according to John, what happened was Rob Zombie comes to him and's like, "Hey, I'm going to be doing." This is before they were going to do a second one. It's like, "Hey, I'm going to be doing Halloween. I'm going to do," and John's like, "Do your own thing with it. I don't care. The Cod family owns it. Like, do whatever the Gustavo Cod family. Do whatever you want. Like, have a blast." And Rob's like, "Well, and I want to do it." And he's just like, "Look, just do your own thing." And then apparently Rob did an interview and basically was like, "Yeah, John was unsupportive prick and all this." So like, yeah, they hate each other over that whole thing, which is fine. The zombie movies, I'll be honest with you, I didn't like them. I think he over-explained it. Like, Michael Myers to me is just, I'm right here, and I'm going to fucking kill you, and then we're just going to watch a movie of him running around killing people. I don't need a backstory on his life or his origin, and maybe some of those sequels did too much of that stuff too. And that's the great thing about the new film. There's no bullshit. He's old, he's in prison, he gets out, he goes on a fucking rampage, credits. It's great.
I mean...
Did you see the 2009 Friday the 13th movie, the last Friday the 13th movie that they did? With like the supernatural dude in it. Did you see that?
I don't know.
It's pretty gory.
Okay.
And there's a lot of tits in it. Like there's a lot of like sex and all this stuff. Like it's almost like a porno, like half that movie. Sean Miner did it, that did the first film.
Yeah.
And, they're in a legal battle now because the guy...
The first film was very... it's still... there's not... it's not till the very end that it,
yeah. So, you don't know. It's a great slasher. It's great. And that's what I'm saying. You'll like Maniac, because Maniac's like that. It still
creeps me out. The little kid in me, like, I don't know I didn't understand it, but the thing coming out of the lake... it's kind of like that scene in Shining. I didn't understand when the grandma was in the bathtub. It still gives me heebie-jeebies.
Oh, yeah. It's... Well, the funny thing, too... The scene that gets me every time in the first Friday the 13th is the guy in the yellow raincoat. He's like, "What are you doing out in this mess?" And it's like, "Oh!" And she guts his ass.
That's it.
I mean, it's
game over.
It's fucking, and it's great.
Baxter style. Right?
Yeah, you're just
game over.
It's just that's it. But I think I hadn't watched, and I can't remember how long it's been since I'd watched it, but. My friends were talking about vampire movies and whatever, and I'll ask you this. Yeah, and...
Bill Paxton.
Now, let me ask you the other ones. Some of these are some of the ones that got brought up when we were talking vampire movies. Fright Night, you like that one?
Absolutely.
Lost
original.
Boys.
I mean, only in Santa Cruz. Lost Boys is good. It's the PG introduction to the vampires, but Fright Night is fantastic.
It's fucking great.
And I mean that...
But Mr. Vincent, that whole thing with Roddy McDowell, that's great.
Oh, man. But seriously, like, Near Dark, I mean, it's got the kid from River's Edge, and it's got Bill Paxton. It's got Vasquez from Aliens. Is that Cameron?
His wife directed it at the time. Catherine Bigelow that directed Point Break.
Yeah, I mean, like...
Same chick. Well, they were married at the time. Of course, now, when he got with Linda Hamilton, that broke that marriage up.
Yeah.
But a lot of people actually... It's funny that you said that, because a lot of people actually believe that James actually... Because he produced it, a lot of people think he actually directed some of it. Like, he was the one running the camera and stuff. Because it feels like a fucking James Cameron movie.
That's good.
I mean, right.
Good.
I mean, Terminator movies... all my friends growing up were obsessed with T2. I still like the first one. T1. I got to do the first one.
T-1000, baby.
I mean, the first film, you can't go wrong with it.
Bill Paxton.
Have you seen the trailer for that new one?
Looks like this guy's
it just looks weird.
Really? I don't know.
It's like that last one that came out. It was just weird. Like, the trailer showed the whole film. It's like, oh, John Connor's the Terminator. And it's like, okay, you watch the movie, and it's like...
I just didn't... the guy that was in Batman, that's the only one that...
Salvation?
Yeah, I like the one after that better. I kind of.
That's the one I'm talking about.
It still ties in. It made more logical sense.
Agreed.
About
the one that has the chick from Game of Thrones in it or whatever.
I've never seen GOT. Like my bandmates ruined it for me. They talk about it all the time. I don't want to.
Well, I think Genesis. That's the one. Yeah, it's a good movie.
That one.
I liked it.
I all tied in. It all made logical sense. I mean,
Arnold was good in it too.
I like Terminator, the one with the Sarah Connor Chronicles. I really like that. I don't know if you ever saw that.
The TV show?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great.
I thought that was. Whoa, that was really good.
It is good.
That really filled the gap.
It's great, man. Terminator's fun to watch. Terminator's it did a good job with it, and if it ran a little bit longer, I think it only ran like 2 or 3 seasons. But yeah, I like it.
I watched every episode, so I felt like that connected a lot of dots there. So
it did. I mean, I think when you get into was anything like that with time travel, they can fuck it up or mess it up, but yeah, like the movie with the guy from Batman. That's
time. I mean, visually it was dark and this and that, but it was not what. It didn't connect the dots in the right way to me.
No, it didn't, and it gets kind of messy. That whole thing was kind of that way.
I went to the theater for that one. Didn't go to Genesis, and I regret that because I felt like Genesis connected more dots in the whole storyline than the other. So.
But most of the people, I think, when that the Terminator Salvation that I talked to, they if you like Christian Bale, I guess people like that movie. If they don't, they're like, I didn't really like that movie. But the guy that ruined it for me was that idiot from Avatar in it. I thought that was fucking stupid. But
I only saw it once. I saw it at the theater, and I said, "We'll see it again." It didn't draw me into it enough.
It's not.
It made me.
Genesis is really a better film.
I saw Genesis, and I've watched it at least twice.
It's good.
So, and my odd story about Avatar is that everyone else saw it on a big screen, and that year I did I was on tour on airplanes, so I saw it on the screen about the size of the back of a seat 40 times. And we did an Australian tour, a New Zealand tour, a European tour. I think we did Asia that year. We flew various metal fests. So everyone else got to see it once on one gigantic screen for Avatar, and I saw it 40 times
on a goddamn micromanaged tiny little fucking thing.
I think I saw it from Germany to Singapore. That was a 17-hour flight, and that was the only film. So I was like,
you get the stuff like that, but I think I'm trying to think of one thing I was going to ask you horror-wise. The Exorcist movies, do you like those?
Oh, fantastic. Terrifying, absolutely.
Here's you something that I never knew, and I may have told you this before when we've talked before, I can't remember. So the main priest, not the Exorcist, but the main priest, not Max von Sydow, whatever, but the other...
I just watched Flash Gordon, so...
Okay,
I really respect that guy.
Oh, he's the shit.
Conan,
and he's in
Gordon.
He's in Judge Dredd, too, if you like the Stallone Judge Dredd movie.
That's okay, but
it's
Conan, Flash Gordon, Exorcist.
Do you like Conan the Destroyer, or do you like just Conan the Barbarian?
Yeah, I mean, I watched that as well as...
when I was little, Destroyer was awesome. Okay. You get a little older, Destroyer's not as awesome. You want to watch the Barbarian.
Yeah. The camel had his revenge, I'll keep it at that.
The white puke. Yeah. But no, I will say this, and I'll get off my Conan thing, but I love the mirrors where he's hitting all the mirrors, and I think that's pretty cool. He fighting the wizard lizard. The bald, you know what I'm talking
multiple
about.
Times I watched it.
I like that. Got Wilt Chamberlain, kind of cool.
Hey, Wilt Chamberlain.
He's fucking, don't fuck her, she's a virgin. He's got the fucking So it's fun, but Exorcist.
University of Kansas, Kansas.
Oh, there we go. We got another tie-in.
He played basketball at University.
There it is. There's the tie-in.
Yeah, so
It's just happening naturally, the tie-ins. No, so...
the girl and Conan the Barbarian is from Wichita, Kansas, and she actually
The chick that he's with? The one that gets killed or
one,
whatever?
The one that says, do you want to live forever?
Yeah.
I can't think of her name right now. Anyway, she is from Wichita, Kansas, and she lost her finger in that film because there was no props. And there was a scene where there's a sword scene, and it cut off one of her fingers. So.
Holy shit. I did not know that. That's awesome.
Kansas.
So the main actor in The Exorcist, his son is Jason Patrick. That was his dad.
Hold on. The main actor in the... Who is the main actor in that? Because it's all about Linda Blair.
Right, he's the priest who keeps coming to the house.
Father Karras. Really, that's
Jason. That's his dad.
The Lost Boys guy.
That's his dad.
Father Karras. Man.
He's
the one that does the intro to None So Vile. I do that rather well. Don't you think? Okay, so I did not know that.
That is him.
Wow, we tying that in the death metal. I did not know.
Which is cool, and it made me the Lost Boys thing kind of cool because I like Lost Boys. I don't know, this movie's fun. So, Kiefer Sutherland's
I like
cool.
Jamie Gerst. Did you know? Let's see. I want to say it was not last year, but the year before. Santa Cruz, the boardwalk. They did a thing, Lost Boys 30th anniversary beach party, where they showed the movie at the boardwalk on the thing, and the nude saxophone guy,
That's amazing. He was there.
Played.
I still believe. That's great, man. He's Tim Capello. He
was there.
He was Tina Turner's sax player.
Yeah, I mean, like that.
Dude, that's him playing sax on the "We Don't Need Another Hero" and shit, like from Mad Max. I love that shit.
He was there, and they played that film at the beach on the boardwalk.
So I've got to ask you this: did you see the last Mad Max film?
I did not.
It's fucking awesome.
Okay, so here's the thing: these guys, I have some resentment about this. I drove from Boise, Idaho, to Denver, Colorado. Yeah, I drove from Boise, Idaho to Denver, Colorado, through Salt Lake, and then I drove, we'll say it's a 16-hour drive. I drove like 12 of those hours, and we got to my friend's house, and I was like, hey, we had to play Denver. We didn't have to be there for a couple hours, but my buddies in Harvest, gosh darn it, I'll think of it in a second. Hold on, I'll think of it in a second. I got to tie all these things together. I drove all night and got to these I drove from Boise to Denver and Harvest the Murder, and so it was like we drove all night to get there, and then like we got there and like, yo man, what's up? We just got the new Mad Max. We want to watch a big screen, burn down party, and I was like, I gotta go to sleep. But my band members have seen it, and they're like, it was the most awesome thing I've ever seen.
It's so good, dude.
And
it's so fucking awesome.
I was like, dude, I was like, I just drove 12 hours, and I had this inner resentment, like, oh my goodness, I gotta stop. Like,
you should watch it though.
I know.
There's even a black and white version of it called Blood and Chrome.
I'm not
where he shot it black and white.
I might need to see that. They just made me feel. They made me feel like like kind of weird about that. Like, oh man, you guys were all living it. You guys had like foot-long joints and partying, and I'm like,
and you had to go to bed. Well, I mean, you drove a long way. I would be fucking tired too.
No, but the funniest thing was like, I woke up, like they did like drive to the club and load everything out, and like, yo, man, that new Mad Max movie is badass. So, anyway, on that note, I need to.
Yeah. Paul Ryan is always a pleasure. We always have fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's it.
We always have fun, and hopefully you will be out again touring soon. I will come see you. our listeners love listening to you and I talk about random things in the universe of metal and horror. That's what we do. But
this is Paul Ryan of Origin with Dr. Vincent West, and you're listening to the Phantasm Podcast.